Big up to all those in YouTube land. Chelsea don't feel no blues from Anfield as we demolish Panathinaikos away in the Europa League Conference. Let's get into this. Big up, people, all those in YouTube land. You know, it's me and my favourite boy and the Blues crew and the Blues and two. Right, in terms of me and JPT, Tyrone's just bailed out, so he's either having connection issues or he'll be back. We'll see. JPT, my brother, you're a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and a little bit smellier. Belated happy birthday, my brother.
Thank you.
How does it feel to have one more year knocked off your life?
My joints hurt. that's the best thing I could put it to, but not too bad. I wish it had been a slightly better birthday weekend on Sunday. I'm not sure if we're gonna talk about that, but I feel like we need to, even though we just, I know we introduced um, with Panathinaikos.
No. I said we didn't feel any blues from Anfield as we
Oh,
demolished Panathinaikos. So ha. You go back and check it. It's there.
there you
It's there.
go.
It's there in existence. So I'm sorry, you were saying.
But yeah, no, just besides that, and yeah, not a bad birthday celebration. I try to keep my birthday just minimum. Like my ideal birthday came true, which went to a movie, went to eat some chicken wings, and then I just called it a day with some smoking, and then I just went to sleep.
Simple life for a simple man, eh? Man
Simple.
said that horror movie, chicken wings and weed. Bang!
That's my new mixtape right
And by
there.
the way, it's legal where he is, so I don't want anyone talking shit about like what we're talking about. Right? Oh yeah,
Crazy.
how was Terrifier 3 or whatever it's called? Was that any good?
Oh my, yeah, it's the first 5 minutes is just insane, and then
Yeah, because
I mean,
apparently he comes back and the other girl now's come back and she's like mind controlled and they've lost the sword and he's resurrected again and he or something like
oh
this.
yeah, and
Something.
they killed Chris Jericho. You gotta see him.
They broke the walls
Oh, they broke the
down.
walls down. Oh my! But it was. There is one scene. If anyone that does see it, there is one scene that it was an intense kill, but it was the thing that was happening next to the kill that was even more graphic. Which I won't ruin it for nobody, but you'll know the scene if you go see it or if you've already seen it. Wolf, I
What he
understand you want to go see it.
Hey, wait, was it so? What was he pleasing himself with a Man United shirt?
Or worse.
That's a horrific fault. Who would please themselves with Man United for a start? Anyway, DJ Crane says, "Oh, big up to the Craney man in the house." We call it. I'm going to nickname him Krang from Turtles.
Great.
Get those Arab turtles. Evening, DJ Crane. How you doing? From Baby Girl. How you doing, babes? He says, "Oh, again." I'm pretty sure that's probably on JPT's stream. Why do I have Alicia Keys in my head singing "My Blue"? Who's Brothers 3? Okay. Erica Badu called on Tyrone. Okay. 31 bad man. Do you feel like a 31 bad man?
Yeah, I feel like a 31 fat man, but yeah.
Okay. Rosie goes, evening, ladies. Another someone who scored 4 today. Well done. Big up
Well,
to
yeah.
Rangers tonight. The Blue Sisters actually happy. I'm assuming this is on JP's channel because why would she put my own link in my own chat? That wouldn't make a lot of sense. But there you go. Hey, Rosie, hope you're well from the missus. Big up Wolfie, bro. Big up JPT. Big up Steps in the building. How you doing, bro? How's life in the championship? Just joking. Big up, bro. How you doing? Well, I'm well, lovely. Hope you've had a great week, Gorge. Okay. All right. Back to business. Now, before we got into Panathinaikos, JPT said it, we got spanked at the weekend by Liverpool. But it wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. And we played quite well, to be honest. And we kept the ball for large spouts at games, and we kept Liverpool hemmed back. Well, give me your thoughts and takes on what happened in that game, because I was going to do a live watch along for it, but I couldn't because we had building work down there at the time. The place was stinking out lacquer and stuff. Like I wouldn't be allowed to talk. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be allowed to talk in it without huffing and coughing, bro. Ask my missus if you don't believe me. It was sickening. Championship is low and poor. No joke, my man. Oh, shit.
Mm.
Sorry, Stepsy. I was just trying to pull your leg, but sorry.
Hopefully Lewin come back to the Prem. They
Up
were
the
kind of
Luton.
like that little underdog team. I don't want to say little, but they were the underdog team that was performing fairly well at home. You know, they were giving hell to title challengers. Actually, both. I think they were giving tough games to both City, Arsenal. Um, they took
Us.
points. Us, but was that the one where we won 3-0 or we barely beat them?
I think is the one we ploughed in was at home. It was the one away we barely beat them.
That's right, because I think it was like a last. I think it was a 2-1 win.
It was
But,
something like that. It was
but
it
yeah.
was
No.
close. It was close.
Oh well, I mean, yeah. So no, not this season. Well,
That's it, Stepsy. Be positive.
but to go to just what you were saying, yeah, no, it wasn't a like a dominant win as I think a lot of people were expecting. Saying that we were overhyped, which we did say that if we were going to lose this game, it was going to be off our mistakes. And I know,
I said that. We
yeah,
always give you a chance. Cue Levy Colwell.
and
Bing.
I know Ty was saying that the penalty call wasn't correct, but you know what? It made up for the previous penalty, uh, the non-penalty call from Levi Colwill to Salah,
No, that
which
wasn't. No, no, no. The reason why I don't think that was a penalty is because Salah's standing there and waits for him to try and bring his leg across, and then deliberately puts his foot in the way.
it's
Salah,
about it's
yeah, the
about the
Salah
one
one,
that
yeah,
did
the
get
one,
called.
yeah, the one that didn't get called, yeah, Salah. Salah's
Oh,
trying to be, clever by putting his leg across in front of him, and the referee knew that. That's why he told him to do that, and VAR didn't get involved.
I thought it was because he was kind of holding up the ball, waiting for the challenge, and then you just see Levi kind of lunging with knee first. So I thought that was just the bit of a mistake. But anyways, I mean, and then for anyone that wants to argue with the Sancho penalty call, I mean that was 50-50. I don't know.
No, no, no,
That
no,
was a
no.
bit.
That was a good save because he gets in there and it ricochets off his leg. And you know what you could tell as well when the referee blew the whistle and gave the penalty. Did you just see the look on Sanchez's face? He was like,
Mhm.
the South American came in out and he was like, "You what?"
Well,
He
no,
kind of looked at him like,
Sancho.
"You what? Like, excuse me? Like, that ain't no penalty."
I know the Sanchez
Nacho
one
Libre.
that was called for offside. No, no, not that one. The one from Sancho, which I think it was Trent that tripped him up. He kind of like hooked his leg around his
Oh
ankle.
yeah, yeah. That was in the
Um,
first half. Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I could have gone 50-50. Of course, I'm going to lean towards that. Should have been a penalty call, but um, the main thing is that what I was going to call this game as a 1-1. But of course, defense fell asleep. I think people were looking at Reece James, but he was coming across kind of almost like with Cucurella versus Holland in the first game. But Tosin wasn't marking his man. He let Curtis Jones run through behind, and then it was just an easy ball through or cross from Salah. But that touch to control the ball, Sanchez should have been all over that. Sanchez should have came out earlier and just claimed the ball, commanded his, but he didn't. He hesitated, and it was just an easy
Well,
back post goal.
what can I ask just quickly on Sancho on Sunday? Do you think with the amount of one-on-ones he had with Arnold, and he had a lot, he should have done more?
Sancho still has that issue where he's looking more for the pass instead of the shot, and I think he
Mm,
kind of takes himself out of the opposite of what we were saying with Noni, which I think he had a fairly good game uh, on Sunday because he was looking for the passes more so than the shot, and then um, but I would even say better than Sancho on the left. Neto looked great. I
yeah,
thought Neto
Nato
looked
in the
great.
second half he looked good.
Whew, he just kept cooking and going into the inside and was giving the backline
He
hell.
should have scored, and
He
Palmer
should have started.
and Palmer should have scored that when he got the ball free in the
Mm,
box and he was like 8 yards out and he had that left foot shot and
it
he
was
and he
wide.
thought he'd scored it, but he must have miskicked it because he looked he kind of looked in his face and he was like, I can't believe I missed that. And for
He.
him,
Hmm. Oh no, I just go ahead. My fault.
no, he go on, sorry, bro. I was just going to be saying that Palmer he looked off on Sunday. Really, he didn't look
Mm.
himself. He didn't look clinical.
Yeah, I mean, he made that face and had that reaction of like, give me the opportunity one more time and I will score that because any other day he does score that. Um, he didn't have many chances in the game from what I remember. I think he had That one, and then a block shot in the first half as well, which that was just good defense. They closed down on him quickly, but that he should have had that one to the back post, given back. But it is what it is. He wasn't there, but overall, I think the team played well. Even if you play well, you're not always guaranteed to win. So so that's why hats off to Liverpool. They got the job done. Um, I can't wait for the game back at the bridge.
Big up
Uh,
TT.
where's he at? Oh, oh, yeah, big up TT. So yeah, I don't nothing negative. Just we gotta fix these mistakes because if you really want a team to go into any type of title challenge, clean up the mistakes. We have to stop shooting ourselves in the foot, stop giving these teams chances. Even today, which we're gonna go back, or we're gonna talk in a little bit about it as well. But we can prevent so many goals that we like. As much as we're scoring these goals, we just kind of give these teams hope, and it can be a
Yeah, we
momentum
always give him a
shifter, and it's
chance.
stupid. It's so stupid. But I mean, props to who would you say the best player for our side was in that
Pedro
game?
Neto.
I would even say Caicedo. Caicedo
Yeah,
was.
Casado had a good game as well. He
Hmm.
was defensively quite solid. To be honest, you know who actually for me had quite a solid game when I was surprised how good he was? Adebayo.
Tosin's a good that's a good player to keep up with as a backup. Do I still think that Fofana might be better than him? I think he beats him on pace, which is a big thing,
You
within
know
this
what? Why
league.
don't we go for far in the tossing and take Leffy Colwell out because he's still mistake prone. And I must admit, when they got the penalty and Salah scored, that was his fault because Adebayo was there to cover. And to be honest, if you look at Colwell, he panics and lunges at him and whaps him out. So he doesn't quite realise that he's there. Palmer was hungover. Well, it was JPT's birthday, so
You know,
we will forgive him for that.
I was a bit upset with not seeing Vega in the starting lineup, and I remember when we were discussing about who's going to start as our fullbacks, and I did suggest that what if we see Gusto on the left, and then while and see Reece James on the right. Um, but it's just and Prime made a good point where it was not necessary to experiment. This isn't Poch era still, so start the proper left back Vega, so since Cucurella was out, and just have Gusto start on the right. Let James, come for the last 30, 40 minutes, whatever it may be, and then just see out the game that way. And not risk Reece James getting injured again. Luckily, he was walking fine and no injury, nothing. Hopefully, nothing happens in practice or in training sessions. So my that was probably my big criticism for Maresca, and also bringing in Nkuku when he did. I think he should have brought him on like about 10 minutes earlier, because
Wait, hang on. Who the hell's the mama? Oh, is that the chick that does the stuff with Jess? Who's the mum overlord?
uh,
Oh, that's the lady that does it with Jess, right, Rosie? You can enlighten me on that one because I don't think I'm subscribed to her.
I think that
I know Jess is, but I don't know.
I think that might be it.
Stacy
Yeah.
with Jess. Yeah, okay, Stacy with Jess. Yes. Sorry, I don't really have a rapport with the mom overlord or Stacy. So, I have a rapport with Jess, but big up to her anyway. Sorry about that. I wonder who that was for a sec. For a
That's the
second.
same.
Sorry, my bad. Don't mean that in a rude way. I just did. Excuse me.
Dave, I
Sorry,
did catch
JPT.
the stream earlier this week with it was like a game night stream. It was great. It was a great like little hangout panel show from this. We got to Jess and everyone there. It was a good conversation, good listen.
It's fine. It's
But
fine,
yeah,
Rosie. I'm more about the love, honey. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's just I don't know her. That's all it is. That's what I'm just saying.
Crane
She does it
behave.
with just some spite. Yeah. Calm yourself. I know Jess well enough, and I said to Jess here a few months back when she jumped into a Blues Brother streak. You wait until your channel explodes, and she go, yeah. Now she's on the road to 20K, and it was all that within 3 or 4 months. So good up to her, and good up to Stacey as well as obviously, and I think Stacey's mum as well. She was bantering me the other day about Yellow Snow or something like that. I can't remember, but good channel, nice vibe. Big up to them. Sorry about that, JBT.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Just my nephew just sent me a message. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Still hopeful. Just fix the mistakes, and we carry on. Same goes with our B team because it seems like there's still mistakes.
That's her mum,
Um,
yeah. Sweet.
Susie is lovely. But what I don't know. What do you think about the game?
Well, two people stood out for me in that game, Adebayo and Lavia,
Do you
because
like that? Do you like that pivot more?
yeah, because of the physical presence, Lavia. Like I'll tell you what, one thing about it is I will say this: like when Lavia and Casado, what we won the midfield battle. I don't care what anyone says. We won the midfield battle. When it came down to the midfields, right, we had the better midfield because our midfield was kind of. And the thing is, I'd like to see what a Reece James does with a Lavia and a Conceição and a Palmer when everyone's fully fit too. That'd be interesting
Hmm.
because not many people realise that as well. That wasn't exactly a fully fit side that we were playing either. I must admit, I wasn't. I can't have been the only Chelsea fan that when we saw that Lavia and Reece James was starting, I can't have been the only one that went, excuse me? You know what I mean? Like, it was, oh, big up Mel in the building as well.
Big
Hope
up
you're
Miss
doing well,
Melina.
honey. She's on the road to 10K as well. Get this girl to 10K. She's absolutely sweet and endearing, even though she's an Arsenal fan. We forgive her
Mm.
for that. But big up to Mel in the building. Yeah, but I was really impressed with Lavia and Adebayo, as I was saying, because they didn't make any mistakes. We looked more solid with them two in the team, to be honest. Oh my days, JPT went boss-eyed when he drank that.
Yeah, because this is I'm not sure this wine is old, but tastes bad.
Yeah, it looked a bit near.
Yeah.
Mel wants to wear glass glows blue. Are you sure?
Mm.
But yeah, because Adebayo, for me, he stood out. You know what I mean? Out of the two defenders, he was the one that made less mistakes. He had a good game. And I think Lavia, next to Conceição, we didn't have as many gaps in the midfield. And you can tell when Lavia came off in the second half as well, and that Liverpool got more control in the midfield, how it affected the overall play. So, but I'm not being funny. That, as I said, it wasn't a drumming. It wasn't a terrible defeat. It was only by a penalty. So, you know what I mean? You move on. And I'm not being funny. And it kind of switches into what we're about to talk to now about Panathinaikos.
Mhm.
That we didn't get any injuries, which was good because finally, after what 3.5, 4 years, we actually have no one injured.
That injury sheet is blank for
It's
once.
blank, bro.
It
Can
is.
can I just say, right, as a Chelsea fan, having no injuries is kind of like, wow. When was the last time this happened? It was like the last time you see Haley's Comet. It was just like, what the fuck, man? Where were you that day
It's like City
when
with
it?
no charges.
Oh,
It's like it's a miracle.
wait, did you hear what Mourinho said about the Man City charges the other day in his press conference against Man
Nah.
United?
I did
Oh,
see the game though, but I didn't see the
bro,
press.
he killed it. He said, remember when I was in England, if these 115 charges against City get proven, I want my winner's medal and bonus sent to me.
He's a
no
G
matter where
man.
I,
He
no
is a
matter where
G.
I am, because he's saying like, all right, if it's proven that I got robbed too, so I want my money, mate. I want my winners. Big up to Jose, it's still the special one in my eyes.
Still, yeah,
Arsenal is proper Chelsea this season, injury after injury.
yeah, it's
Uh,
insane over there. But I would blame Edu more for that because he only made two signings and it was for positions that really, or yeah, positions that didn't really need to be signings for. He bought a Calafiori with a bad knee injury and then a Marino.
and they're still playing party at right back.
Still playing party at right back. Tommy Aster's still out, and that guy is missing.
Wait, I'll tell you what, yeah, I can honestly say now the banter on Arsenal fans is complete. You guys still play Gabriel Jesus.
Oh my god, that guy. I'm not sure if it's a World Cup injury, but that guy is just dead. Anyone who defends him, and I've seen some Arsenal fans be like, "Well, we got Jesus. We don't like no, 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 no.
Hey, he's
We
back.
need Jesus Christ. Like that. You need a miracle to get him
Jesus
replaced.
Christ.
Like it's, you know, Gyökeres is still an option to be signed for the summer, maybe winter time, but needs to do something to address the front and to fix up that back line. Get rid of Zinchenko. Get rid of Was it? I think even Tomiyasu at this point, and then I'd probably find a backup for Ben White.
Leave Edom
But
alone. It was a 16 out of 10 window. Yeah, all right, if you say so, buddy. Big up, TT. Are you with us now?
No.
No, okay. He's not with us. All right, brother. Give me your take on what you your straight view on like, what happened at Liverpool. Like, sum up the game for me. What did you see?
Well, what I saw is poor defending. I saw a lapse of lack of concentration, and I mean both of those goals came from the fact that Chelsea were high, and then obviously we know the second goal, Curtis Jones was just available to go into that space, and Reece James not paying attention, that goal happened. But the main problem that I realized is that Cole Palmer was marked out of the game. They targeted Cole Palmer, and the difference with yeah, big up to you, Steven C. I don't know who that is exactly, but big up to you.
Big up,
Stepsy, man.
Stepsy.
Big up. But yeah, I think one of the main things that with the way that Liverpool players operate, and I did mention this last week when Jordan was on and everything. I did say that the way that Liverpool play, it's not like Klopp, and I'm not the only person who have said this. It's obvious to see they have the best, I believe, defensive record so far this season in the Premier League. So that speaks for itself, and there's a reason why that's the case. Um, but the way that they played, they were very deep. They allowed us to have the ball as much. And then what happened is that we had possession, but we did nothing. It was meaningless possession. We did nothing with the possession other than creating a couple of chances. And then after creating those chances, we made nothing out of it. We scored one goal, fine, but there's other instances where we could have scored goals. People talk about the whole situation with Sancho and Arnold and whatever Trent and everything, and not getting the penalty when it's supposed to be a penalty. And if we had gotten that opportunity, maybe the game would have been different. But I generally think that it was a case where the issues that we had in previous matches where teams were able to find a way to try to limit us. The fact that Liverpool have players who have more experience, have players who are more equipped for operating a certain way, that is what caught us. I think that, in terms of marking out Cole Palmer, a lot of teams in the past have done that to Cole Palmer. But the thing is that with, for example, like a Curtis Jones, surprisingly, he was able to mark the ball. Grafenberg was poor for Liverpool. He did very poor. Casado, Lavia were able to get the better of him. Lavia in particular, he was able to control the game while he was coming back.
Yeah, I
coming
liked
deep,
Lavia
getting
on
the
Sunday.
ball,
He was
pass
great.
the ball. Yeah. And then that next is that, especially after they scored the second goal, Lavia coming off, Enzo coming on, we lost control of that midfield because that's not what you're gonna get from Enzo. He's not going to help you control the midfield. Lavia is that box to box. I've always said that he's everything that I wanted to see from Kovacic. He's a box to box. He's able to get you. He's not a flat DM. And I don't think he's a DM per se. He can win the ball. He can be a ball winning midfielder. But the difference with him is that he's able to distribute as well. He's able to get past players, dribble past players, and do that. But Liverpool, they had a plan. I have to give that to Slot. I was wrong about Slot. I thought they would struggle with him. And I guess they have experienced players. So he doesn't really have to do much in terms of the quality, in terms of how they can score goals. But in terms of doing something that Klopp didn't do, which is to allow them to sit deeper at times and not play a high line, that is something that they always had the players to do it. Klopp just loved to match teams, try to press them high and all of that. And that was one of the issues with them conceding lots of goals in the past. But in terms of sitting deep, utilizing the fact that they have players like Van Dijk, who's a good defender, a 1v1 good defender. You have Konate, who's also in that bracket as well. That helps you as well. But I do think that in that situation, Liverpool, they had a plan. We had a plan as well, and I think Enzo's plan could have worked because we did find ways to draw the fullback out in terms of Trent, and Robertson was having a hard time handling Madueke. Madueke was giving him a hard time. But I think in terms of the fact that when they got that penalty, they scored it. I don't know. Chelsea were obviously gonna have to go at Liverpool, and that went into their plan. And obviously they have quick players. They essentially won based on the fact that they have good counter attack skills, and that's how they scored
Yeah,
the
that's what
goals.
they
And
did.
it
The
could have
counter
been
attack
better.
us.
Yeah, so I think that's what went wrong in the game. I mean, I wasn't as angry. I was frustrated because we could have gotten something out of that match. Moresco's plan could have worked, and it was a good plan as well. But we weren't able to get the goals and be clinical because we had opportunities, we wasted it. Sanchez made a good pass. I think Gusto was trying to cross it into the box and it went out of play. We could have gotten goals early on, but it's life. It wasn't as bad as people I heard like Don Hussam and people like that say it's gonna be the funeral of Chelsea. It wasn't like that. We made Liverpool scared.
But
I
yeah,
think
they
it
won
was
with a
very
penalty.
quiet for
Yeah,
a lot of
bruv.
that
They
game.
won with they won with a penalty, bruv. There was no funeral. You're one penalty better
Yeah.
than
So
us.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
it
a
was
case
a
like that.
50-50
It wasn't
game.
a case like that.
And I'm not being funny. One thing I want to ask you this, TT, as well. Do you think Sacho should have made more of the one-on-one situation? Because I asked JPT this, and I'm gonna ask you. Do you think he should have made more of the one-on-one opportunities? Because he got at him a ridiculous amount of times in the first half. I can think of about 6 or 7 occasions off the top of my head where he was like right at him, and even a few times where he went past him. So it was just like, give me your take on the one-on-one battle quickly, and then we'll move on to Panathinaikos.
Sorry, you said about Sancho.
Yeah. Do you think he could have done more against Trent Alexander-Arnold than what he did?
I think he could have. I mean, he wasn't able to get the better. I don't know. Trent loves to have good games against us. I don't know why. Um, but in terms of 1v1, Sancho wasn't the Sancho that was trying to take on players. I don't know why. He kept doing a lot of passes, as you said. He always tried to find it back to what's his name, Gusto, rather than
JPT
trying
did that.
to get the ball, try to get into the box. And that's what I'm saying. Madueke was the more lively one. Madueke was the one that was taking on Robertson. Um, Sancho could have done better because he did try to do that in previous games, but it didn't work out. I simply think that's I don't know. So I don't think Sancho I don't think Sancho is where he wants to be and where he should be. In terms of what he was trying to do, he was trying to showboat. It never worked out. Trent was most of the time able to get the better of him, but then we saw that when he came off at halftime, there was more courage in the team. So I think he could have done more, but I think it's going to take time
Can
for
I
him
just
to
say,
really
I
get
do
to
think
that
when
place.
Pedro Neto went one on once against Trent Alexander, he absolutely fried him. By the way, because he did come up against him a couple of times when we tried switching wingers, and yeah, he got cooked. Pedro Neto was cooking both of their
Yeah,
fullbacks, to be honest. And he was cooking
yeah,
Robertson when he was on the right, and he was cooking Trent on the left as well. Because I'm not being funny, right? And that's one thing I will say. I've seen, even in games for Wolves, I have seen Pedro Neto absolutely obliterate Alexander Arnold. And I was surprised, like JPT said, that Neto didn't start. Because for me, I like and TT just said it, like Mudwiki was a more direct threat on the right. And I do believe that realistically, on the left, he might have been the better choice to start with because he's more of a direct threat. You know what I mean? So I would have been more happy probably with seeing Modwiki and Pedro Neto start, because I think Pedro Neto's a starter, man. I think in terms of footballing ability, he's got to be first or second name on the team sheet, isn't he?
He
And I'm
brings
not
that
being funny.
spark to the attack.
He does, and I will say this in terms of bringing that stability, and TT just mentioned it as well. Lavia, I will say his importance is only going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And imagine this, boys. If we and I'm going to come on to Nkuku and a couple of the others in a minute. But who was you guys man in the match for Sunday? And I'll ask TT first, and I'll ask JPT. Who was man in the match in your eyes? All right, he's not going to answer. JPT.
Um, I'll say Caicedo. Yeah, I think he was probably the best player. Like as you mentioned that, we dominated we won the midfield battle. I won't say dominated, but we won the midfield battle, and I think it was all due to him having the proper partner next to him instead of Enzo. And it actually kind of brings me to a question that well after Ty gives his answer, but um makes me wonder if now we're gonna see Fernandez be not in the starting 11 as often, or especially for the league games, because I felt that a lot of the time he was starting and had that captain's band as a safe net, like, oh, we have to put him here. He's going to be the captain for the. But now that Reece James is back, and now we have our actual captain, does that take that safety net away from Enzo? And now we're going to see Lavia Caicedo um, in the pivot.
I would hope so, because it's clear to see that we're a lot stronger with that pivot than we are with a Concedo Enzo pivot. But well, one thing about it is against teams that sit deeper against us and allow us to have the ball, I think Enzo would be a better choice. Because obviously, if you
Right.
don't need to be as solid, but a lot of people might get angry with it, but I would say take Concedo out and put Enzo in there and let Lavia be the rock and let everybody else go. Different strokes for different folks, but it's how you adapt really to the opponent. TT, you there, brother? I haven't seen him unmute, so he must. Oh, there he is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
Who's your man of the match for Sunday, brother?
I would say that the man of the match for me was Lavia. That's just me. That's
No, no.
just me.
I just said that myself. Strangely enough, I love you. I had a
He looked
really good
good.
game. He looked really good, and considering he hasn't played, he's only played what 60 minutes. It just goes to show, bro, boys. We're not even. And the thing of it, right? We were missing Kukurea, Fofana, Lavia wasn't fit, Reece James wasn't fit, and it kind of comes to the because we've all been complaining about defending. When Lavia gets back up to full strength, and hopefully Reece James doesn't find somewhere of getting suspended or injured again, right? And Fofana will come back, Kukurea will come back. He had a good Euros. We have not the solidest defense, but we have the makings of a good defense. When you both agree,
I think
we
so.
could, but
It,
yeah,
it just really depends if we had to rely on. What I'm more worried about is like our center back pairing. Tolson is, like I said, is a good option, but then if we start having to look at the likes of Benoit Badiashile or Axel Disasi, then it makes me nervous because for whatever reason, Disasi plays onto the right as a right back. That doesn't work. Benoit I think he's improved out of the two, but it's still a bit shaky. It still
it's
doesn't.
Bambi like.
Because he could have conceded, or he could have led a goal today. The first one that Jorgensen saved, because Benoit loses his man and then just kind of stays flat-footed. Luckily, just Jorgensen just made a great save. But that's also another thing too. Besides the defense, I think we also need to address the goalkeeper situation, because
Well,
I'm not convinced with Sanchez still. He's a great shot stopper, but there are decisions he makes that's questionable. And Jorgensen, I don't think he's ready, so we might have
yeah,
to
he's
go
too
into the
young, man.
market.
Well, I'm not
Hmm.
being funny. Diogo Costa, I should say, at Porto, I think was a very good choice, and we never went for him. And like he had a good Euro. Was it Euros that was just happening? Anyway, he had a good Euros, and no one tried to buy him. It's funny actually because Makashvili is signed for Liverpool, so I'm
Hmm.
surprised. You know what I mean? Like, not even United tried to buy him. Which is kind of weird because I thought they might have tried giving Onana some competition. But hey ho, and we move on to this evening where we played obviously Panathinaikos. We won 4-1. Jao Felix got a brace,
Whoa.
scoring 2 goals. Mudrik got an assist and a goal. And in Christopher Nkuku has scored again, like even though it was a penalty. But I'm telling you, if Salah can score that many penalties and be a great player, then so could Nkuku. So because why not? So, boys, Give me your thoughts and opinions on what you saw tonight with Panathinaikos JPG.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, so I'm sure I'm not muted. Um, I thought it was good. Kind of a flat, first 15, 20 minutes. But eventually, they Chelsea woke up. Mudryk, I arguably was. I'm sure you're gonna ask a question, but I thought he was our man of the match more so than Joao Felix. Got the goal, and I think he provide both assists
One goal,
for
one assist.
Felix. One goal, one assist. Okay, I wasn't sure if he provided the first one, but yeah, we looked good. We did concede it after we scored four, but would have been nice to have a clean sheet. Um, I think Vegas looks like he's getting better. Trying to think who was in our defense. I'm trying to remember the lineup, but Benoit, Isasi, and Kukurea.
Kukurea,
Kukurea
and
surprised to
Vega.
see. Yeah, I'm surprised to see Kukurea play today. Why risk flat chest? Why why risk Kukurea as a starter? When we have Newcastle coming up, or for next two games, Newcastle.
Back to
But
back, yeah.
um, midfield looked great. Uh, you know, uh, Dewsbury Hall is looking like he might be the kind of like the. Well, I'm trying to think who was our signings for this season.
Our
But I think
signings.
yeah, I'm trying to think like who's like all of our signings that came through. But I think Dewsbury Hall might be the one like the flopped worse. I think he's just has a lot of hype, but he's young, so I'll give him that excuse. Um, Enzo, I think we should see Enzo more so at the conference league games and cup competitions. I don't think he should be starting the prem games anymore.
Mm.
Joao
Why?
Felix,
Wait. Why do you say that?
because I'd rather have Lavia start over him so that we can have the Lavia Caicedo partnership and we do look more secure. But I didn't think he was all that great. He made a couple of bad passes. Um, Today. One that was just outrageously bad. He had just Joao Felix 10 yards from him,
Outrageously bad, man, guy said.
and
Outrageously
it
bad.
was like he's right next to him, and he manages to kick it out of bounds. Like he doesn't even like
You're
hit.
shit, son. You're
It
shit.
was terrible, but I think I wasn't sure if he was playing hurt because he had that brace on his forearm. I just don't know what was going on there. He had a good shot that was saved, but if he just went low right corner, it would have been fine. He is in the Chelsea. I won't even say that, but I think the hype too that with Maresca is gonna be the manager. He's gonna. Who else knows Shrewsbury Hall more than
Basically,
his
what Chelsea boy said, he needs an ally in the dressing room. That's him.
and I feel like he's the one with like the least voice, like with the most little voice. Because honestly, God, this guy isn't really gonna get much league minutes.
He did
So
get an assist tonight, though.
he did. He was involved for the goal because I think he was all made a key pass that led to I think it was Mudryk's goal, the pass to Joao Felix, which then crossed over to Mudryk. Um, but still, I just think he's dropped down so much in the pecking order in the midfield that it's where I don't think we're going to see much of him. Um, and Kuku, I think he's still making an argument of should he start Jet
Big up,
Jackson
Argav.
again. Big up Argav. Be careful, Bargav. And the hurricane is still around the Gulf of Mexico. So, but have fun on your vacation. Drink as much tequila as possible.
Watch out, he's still got some of his Mexican relatives down there as well. So.
Exactly, exactly.
Even though
Um.
he's Peruvian. What?
Oh yeah. um. Wow. Nice.
Big up, brother. I won't be
But
around
yeah.
for a while. Well, good luck to you, man, and stay safe, and we'll see you around when you're back. Have a good one.
Um,
Man, sounds like he's signing off.
yeah, I think he's got stuff to do, but yeah, he's gonna have a good time in Mexico. I'm sure of it. But yeah, I mean, other than great performance. Just kind of wish we cleaned up on the mistakes, because one thing that kind of made me think today was that that goal would have pissed off Jose. Like any goals conceded, it would have you would have made them unlapse a whole training session.
Mm-hmm.
You would have given them shit. But
Yeah, or if another Chelsea mate, if Don Carlo would have given him the eyebrow like he did the whole Madrid, bro, I'm telling you, that's what Vinicius. That's what made Vinicius pay the other day. Like when Carlo Ancelotti had him, it can happen, it can happen, it can happen. The eyebrow went up. Vinicius Junior was like, "I'm sorry, boss," and he went out there and he banged that hat trick. Just out of curiosity, did anyone see that hat trick for Vinicius Junior in the second half? By the way, against for Madrid the other night.
that was a different Madrid.
That was this guy's Ballon d'Or. He's best player in the world at the minute, Vinicius, and he showed it because he was just bending those Dortmund players up left, right, and centre, bro. It was quite embarrassing. But yeah, big up to Vinicius. Good luck with your Ballon d'Or, man. You should win it. Anyway, TT, are you still there, my brother? There he is.
Yes, mate, I'm still here.
What's your thoughts on this Panathinaikos game? I know you've got a video on your own channel, but give us a little summary on mine, please. And subscribe to the Chelsea sessions.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's not a necessity, but sure.
Shut up! Just let us be nice to you. Take it. Sorry, excuse me. I apologize. So you were saying?
Oh, gosh. All right. Right. So, well, the match was, I don't know, the match was boring for the first part. I actually fell asleep. I fell asleep in the first half. I woke up to hear Modric goal. That's what woke me up. I fell asleep because, man, the game was just boring. It was boring for the most part. I mean, the first 50 seconds, they almost scored a goal, and Jurgensen had to claw the ball away. I mean, it was they did well. The first 20 minutes, they actually look as if they could have actually caused an upset and defeat Chelsea. But, Chelsea were able to do it to 1-2, Neto being crucial, and they get a goal to Felix. And, we see what the half. And then I said this, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Maresca tells them at halftime. But every time we come out, at least so far this season, the first 4 minutes or a couple of minutes of the second half, we always score a goal. I don't know what's going on, but we tend to come out and do better in the second half. And that's what happened. And we scored three more additional goals. No, we scored 2 goals in the first hour, and then we scored a penalty through Nkunku. But yeah, the match wasn't the greatest. We've had better games. I like the fact that we were still able to score 4 goals, given the fact that it was a completely different 11 from the team that played against Liverpool. And it shows that we have depth. And probably that's the way you're going with the title. Where do we have our bench back? But in terms of that, so we have depth in that sense. But
we have no injuries.
And I like
there's no injuries. Can you guys believe it? For the first time in 3 years, we've got no injuries.
Yes, I could actually cry, man. I could actually cry because it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
No one out for a year. No one out for 7 months. Yeah. No one out for 6 months. Come on, get in there. It's all right. Sorry, TT.
But yeah. But that's the case, man. We don't have any injuries to contend with and to say, oh, when is this guy gonna come back? And when this guy comes back, we'll be able to drop this player. Now we have the opportunity to be flexible. We can rotate, and Maresca said it. Versatility is important, and he even mentioned that in terms of Renato Vega, being a holding midfielder, being a fullback, playing as a centre back. And I mean, he seems a bit raw to me. Still, he's still very young, so I can't really blame him. But in that sense, the game wasn't entertaining, really. I mean, at one point I thought they were going to come back and probably score 3 more goals because it was the same thing like against Liverpool, lack of concentration. I mean, at the same time, Tariq George was on, he wasn't marking the player. I can't expect anything better from the guy. He's very young. He's not up to that level. It was just an opportunity for him to get minutes, and the team isn't that team, and no disrespect to them. They're a great team in their league. I can't disrespect them in that sense. But in terms of how competitive it was, in terms of being able to give certain players an opportunity to play, Tariq George got that chance, but he wasn't the greatest. And he was trying to score a goal. Disasi tried to do that as well, but I don't know. I'm slowly giving up on Disasi and Badashil.
we had this conversation in the past, Wolfie. I think we wasted some funds in terms of signing players in other positions. We needed a centre back, an experienced one, and not one like Tosin, who I'm still yet to see impress me, who's
I said
supposed to
that in
be
transfer window,
experienced.
bro. I said that we needed a centre
Yeah,
back and a
so
centre mid and a striker. I've always said
yeah,
that.
and yeah, so
But Prime, big up, brother. How are you?
I'm fine.
I say, what did you?
I was like getting food and stuff, so I'm
Yeah,
late.
yeah. It's alright, bro. What did you think of the Panathinaikos game, Chelsea game?
I didn't think we'd win by this much. Yeah, I was going into the game because I thought we did preview yesterday. I was going into the game thinking that we'd win 2-1 because this Panathinaikos team, they've got a lot of experience in it, like European experienced players. They have a lot of like good young talent as well. And they're going to be up for the game. Any side that we face in this conference league are going to be up to facing Chelsea because we're a big club. Arguably, we shouldn't be in this competition based on the size of our club. Beating Chelsea is a big scalpel for them. We're their cup final. And they even said as much in the press conference for it. Palestri was speaking about how they're all up for the game and everything. And then you add in the fact as well of the death of George Baldock. That's another added incentive for them. And they started off rightly. RIP to him, by the way, as well. Panathinaikos did start off brightly. They had a chance like very, very early on, kind of straight from kickoff. We kind of grew into the game a bit. We scored, but we were still kind of like slow and lethargic. But again, halftime, whether it's just a tactical thing or Maresca like gives a bit of motivation or he kicks them up the arse, I don't know which one, but we turned it on second half. We turned on second half and really performed to the quality of the players that we have. That shows. Dewsbury Hall, I think he had a very good game. I'm impressed by him. Mudryk was phenomenal, man of the match. Again, the guy's continuously growing with confidence. Badie Shill, I think he had a very good game. And I also think he played well when he came on against Liverpool as well. So hopefully he can start building up some confidence and some form. Neto, nah, I was indifferent with him. To be fair, he kept doing what Madueke does, where, do you remember in the first half, he kept like trying to cut inside and shoot on his left instead of taking it down the byline because he can use both feet. So I don't know why he kept doing what Madueke does. So I'm assuming now that I'm seeing Neto do it, that it must be a tactical thing that he wants his right
Yeah, he's been
winger.
instructed. Yeah, he's been instructed. Yeah.
Assuming that's tactical, so fair enough. In Cuckoo, I think he was okay as well. Enzo was brilliant in midfield. Again, play him deeper so he can actually conduct our play. He dictated the tempo of the game today. And again, it's Panathinaikos, so whatever, but we're in these competitions, we have to play these games. Enzo was brilliant today playing from deep. So yeah, nothing bad or anything to say. Jorgensen again had another very good game.
He made some good saves, man. He made some really good saves, especially that fingertip one when it almost that on goal almost bounced in. I can't remember who it come off of. Oh damn! Because I was at work, I was only scanning the game when I could. But
it was like miscommunication too.
He had a very good game. He's a talent, and I thought he would have been first choice by now. But it's like Maresca so wants to play Sanchez. I think we're going to go through this season what Pep went through, was it 16-17, with Claudio Bravo, where you're going to have to eventually die on your hill and drop him and play Jorgensen.
Well, it might be giving him time to adapt. That's
but Sanchez, but it's not. Yeah, but I don't think Jorgensen had the time now. I think he's ready to come in. But I think with Sanchez, it's a thing where, unfortunately, for him to get dropped, he's just going to have to continue to make more high-profile mistakes, or he's going to have to get injured. Like, that's what happened last season. Poch would not have dropped Sanchez if he didn't get injured.
Well, Petrovic was there.
Yeah, but Petrovic wouldn't have played as their starter.
Yeah, I hear you. And as
But
soon as he
yeah,
got in, he replaced him.
regardless, like this is the bounce back that we need, especially after that Liverpool game. But again, this is with our second team, our 18 players, Palmer, Jackson, and the likes. You've had the week off. You didn't travel to to Athens. We go to Newcastle, go beat Newcastle because they're in terrible form. I speak with Strasbourg Steve. The way he speaks about Man United, about Newcastle, he tells me that they're just as bad as the way Man United have been this season. If that's the case, I expect you to just.
Well,
batter
we are on the up and up.
100%.
I would say Newcastle's form is indifferent at the moment. So
Yeah, but regardless, I expect the win.
I would
Yeah.
If we're meant to be this brilliant team, if we're meant to actually be good, I expect us to be
well, you said meant to be.
for because that's what's supposed to happen, right? When you see a in the Prem, we've seen it over the past few years. When you see a top team in the Prem face a top club in name, but they are underperforming, they tend to get battered. We've seen it happen with Man United over the years. Last season with Chelsea, we played Liverpool, we got battered. We played Arsenal, we got battered. You know, we've seen it happen. So go play the Newcastle Man United games. One of those two games needs to be a batter. Needs to be like 3-0, 4-1 clean.
Big up,
Needs
Daz.
to be a batter.
Hope you are, right?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
Big up, Daz.
And also the Carabao Cup game as well that we have next week, midweek. Yeah, Newcastle as well. I expect we need to win those. Just get through, win it, and by the time we face Arsenal, we'll see what happens from that. But yeah, that's what it is with the game. I agree with Tyrone that the first half was a bit like drab and boring, to be fair. But whatever, Panathinaikos didn't really do anything to like say threaten us per se. The goal we conceded is like annoying, unfortunate. Would have loved to keep a clean sheet, but you know we all know our defensive issues anyway. So whatever, it's not like they caused us any real trouble to put us in.
Well, on that, I want to go back to the actual game tonight, right? There were 3 Chelsea players today that stood out, and I think I agree with what TT said earlier and Prime said there. I think Mudryk was our man of the match tonight, to be honest, and with João Felix coming close, because if you look at the flick on for the first goal when he does that little back header and he sends it into Mudryk's path, that was kind of like a. I wouldn't say that was Ronaldinho-esque, but it was one of those, that's what this guy's capable of, and this is what he should be doing more week in, week out.
Conference League Dino.
Conference Dino, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, Conference League Dino.
He had a similar one versus Barrow.
Yeah, I know, but this one paid off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because one
Wait,
thing
wait, he got the. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, well, we're still sticking with Felix, because I want to talk about Nkuku as well, and I want to talk about Mudryk, but we might as well start with Felix, because have we finally found a position for this guy? Because me and JPT spoke about this, about with him and Nkuku on the pitch, how they can both go up and both come back down. And because it was kind of like a 4-2-2-2 tonight, wasn't it? With
no,
Felix.
the game tonight was like a the way it was a back 3. Vega, the Sassy, Badiashile, Vega. It was.
Yeah, he was atrocious. At the back of the
yeah,
half.
it was like a 3-man midfield with Enzo playing as a single pivot, blanked with Drewsbury Hall and what's his name, Kukurea, and then it was like 2 wingers, Neto, Mudryk, and then a front 2 of you're right, Felix and Nkuku, which just shows that not just us having a lot of different players that can play in different positions, like we can play different shapes, and we have different ways of trying to get through and break teams down, and that's the point of having the quality in the squad. You know, we look at the likes of Arsenal, who are better than us, quote unquote, but look at the injuries they have, and they're crying about options. We have all these options, and they're using them properly. I'm happy about.
And I'm not being funny, right? If you want to talk about crying about it, we've had the youngest and the most injury-prone team for the last 2 seasons. So, yeah,
exactly.
Right.
And now they're all...
Get in line to cry, mate. Get in line to cry on that front.
I was seeing Chelsea fans complain about why Reece didn't start. Like, the guy's been out for so long. He played 55 minutes against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's meant to play one... Him and Lavia are supposed to play 1 game a week now. Until maybe the whole season. Or at least until the back end of the season.
And Fofana as well. Fofana's not in the conference.
And Fofana, Maresca's mentioned a few weeks ago that Fofana's on this fitness plan to play one game a week until 2025. I think Lavia and James are on the same plan. Just play one game a week. We don't, because realistically, you don't need them for these conference league games. You don't need them for the
Don't risk them. Yeah.
Carabao Cup games, unless we end up facing like City or Liverpool. You won't need those. So it's cool. Play one game a week.
Well, Aaron, can I ask? And I'll ask TT this. Are you impressed with the way Enzo Maresca? And I will say this: like if TT can hear me, he's still there. I am impressed with the way he's actually, and I know Prime has alluded to this, not just coaching, but going out of his way to protect the players and being the opposite of, say, Poch, who was run. Oh, it doesn't matter if you're injured. Run a bit more. Like give me your feel on the approach that Maresca's had that's different to the players this season. What's Maresca doing in your eyes that's keeping the boys fit this season that, that Poch wasn't? If Tyrone's even still there, because he's on mute again. All right, well, I'll chuck that till JPT until Tyrone comes back. Oh, hang on, no, wait, he's there. Hang on, he's there. 1 second, boys. Yeah, sorry.
No, you lost your chance. JPT, you go.
No, go ahead.
No, go on, Tyrone. Go on, TT. We're waiting.
Oh, let Prime go, man. They must Prime.
No, I was joking, bro.
Prime just finished. Prime just was the last person to. Are you even? Is your? Did you hear the question, TT? Would you like me to repeat?
I think he's busy. I think he actually is busy. So JPT, you can answer it.
No. The connection is a problem. Like you're saying things that just go for no reason.
I think it's delayed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I still don't know what's going on. I hear what you said. Just heard this T. So I was saying TT because I'm able to hear what you're saying.
All right. Well, let me repeat the question. With the fitness issues that seem to be dealt with this year, in terms of that, the fitness to Reece James, the Lavia, the plan as well, that obviously Prime just mentioned about the fitness for Lavia, the fitness for obviously Reece James and for Fana. What is Enzo Maresca doing that Poch isn't in terms of the fitness? Like, what, in your opinion, because you're a very detailed guy, what's the different approaches? Explain to me what you see.
God, like, to be honest, I didn't hear most of what you just said. All I heard is Poch and you said James, and that's all I heard. I didn't.
The fitness, right? What's the difference in terms of the cares for the players?
I think he needs to drop out and come back in because we can barely hear him.
It was the same on my stream too. Like it was just lagging.
Tyrone, drop out and fix your connection and come back.
Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah.
No, we can hear you. It's Tyrone.
All right. Well, I'll put it this way. Let JPT answer then, and then when Tyrone comes back, he can answer, and we'll see if it's better then. So yeah, fire away, JPT.
So if I understood the question correctly, I mean, I don't think it's
for
more
fuck's
so.
sake.
No. I don't think it's more so that what Arteta's doing. I think if you're comparing Arteta with Maresca, if I'm correct.
No. I said, what's the difference? Thank you, Prime. Someone was listening. What's the difference?
Can I answer it? Because I heard.
All right, 1 second. Let me explain the question to him then, and then you can answer. What's the difference in between Poch and Enzo Maresca when it comes to protecting the players from injury? And hang on, TT, speak. Let us hear you.
Oh gosh, still here.
Still lagging a bit. Maybe it's your Wi-Fi, bro. Well, anyway, listen to what JPT says, and then.
No, it's back because I hear you. You're waving your hand from right to left.
All right. Well, what I was saying, what's the difference between like protecting the players from injury between Enzo and Poch?
Oh gosh.
If you heard that. If not, JPT, you can answer.
I'll give Tyrone 5 seconds because it's like a 5-second delay.
4, 3, 2, 1. No joking.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Right. Okay. This is the thing now. You asked about to answer your question about the whole situation with what Enzo's doing, that Maresca is doing. For one thing that I have to say is that and a lot of managers have done it, not just Poch. A lot of the times they tend to rush back these players. So what you know, and perhaps the situation is that we have we have we have conference league, or we have another competition that we play in the week. So you can rotate the squad. But for one thing, we do know that a lot of the times, a lot of players at Spurs have said that the way that Pochettino demands his players to be fit, they're supposed to train hard. That's another thing. And a lot of these times, these players, their bodies cannot handle it. And for one thing, we see that Maresca is very involved in the training, so he actually sees what the limits of these players are. Pochettino is your average manager, and people always say you could feel the disconnect. He wasn't connected to the club. He just seemed like he was just a manager, which he was, but at the same like he's just a manager, and like the assistant would be responsible for training. But you see, Maresca is involved in training. He so he's able to see what limits the players can go to in comparison to what Poch would do. And the whole situation with James, like people have said it, they think that James has been fit for a while now, and what he was trying to do was giving him that time to get up to that sharpness where he be doing individual training and all that. So it's not a case where as soon as the player is back, he's throwing him in because he's the captain and all that. Pochettino was always like that. He always wanted to rush certain players back in. We saw that with Nkunku, for example. Nkunku was back, I think about after the week after that, he brought him back into the team. So you need to gradually integrate the players back in. I don't know why we were so dependent on just having 111. You cannot go through a season with just 111. I get it. When James is fit, he's one of the best players, best fullbacks, but he hasn't been the same in a long time, and he's been really fit. And one of the reasons for that is that he's never been given that time to really rehabilitate himself, and that is something that has constantly happened no matter the manager. So I think that is what Maresca has done. You need to be on the training pitch to see what your players can handle rather than you demanding it. And plus, there's been some additions in terms of fitness. They test the players in terms of the whole AI whatever. I don't know exactly what it is, but they've integrated that to see what the limits of the players are as well. So that's completely different. And they're driven by data. So I guess they use the data to see the likelihood of certain players being able to withstand certain level of doing a lot of physical work.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Wolf
Yeah,
is.
JPT, what are your thoughts?
Um, I just make it short. Just the difference. Yeah, just Potch was just more so just run, like as it was mentioned, run,
Run,
fitness, this,
rabbit, run.
that. I don't care if you have a bad knee, bad ankle, bad whatever. You're gonna run, run, run. If it's gonna delay your recovery process, doesn't matter. This is all I care about. The U.S. soccer team is gonna be in for a shock, even though the main criticism that I remember seeing like a story that was just said, oh, for the first time in a while, the U.S. soccer team had a practice. Yeah, I hope they had fun running, but that's all they're gonna get. Poch is a mediocre manager, is average at best. Those awards from PSG don't mean anything to me because those are guaranteed for the most part. But um yeah, so and TT was right. You can't just go out the whole season with just an 11. You need the whole team. And now Maresca is being careful and conscious about with these players' injury history. I mean, look, first time in a long time we have the injury list with no names on it. Now, that could also go into how we've been recruiting um, during the transfer windows because the main criticism that we've got from rival fans is Chelsea signing 40, 50 players, whatever. Well, look, it's not like there's going to be a decrease in games anytime soon. Get ready to see. Oh God, he's going to get drunk and fat over there. I'll tell you that for sure. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. So what was I going to say? Is that yeah? It's not like there's gonna be any decrease in games. It's gonna actually be the opposite. We're gonna see more and more games added on for these football players are not gonna have any free time or any recovery, proper recovery time. So we're gonna have to increase the squad size in order to cope with an overinflated schedule. Like we got a whole 11 for conference league games. Are arguably it's a mix of the A B squad for the cup competitions, and then we have our our starting 11 uh, for the Prem. And we'll get that starting 11 to if everything goes well, we finish top four. We're gonna see them. Their workload is gonna double, or not even double, but gonna increase with if we get Champions League again. So I don't think it's bad or much of a difference that what Poch and Maresca is doing. More so that like we actually have a manager that like, look, we're gonna beat them with tactics and strategy instead of just we're gonna outrun them in the game and just over fitness the hell out of them. It's not gonna work. So I mean that's just the main difference if I were to say so.
Prime, because I know you were going to answer that beforehand before everybody else. So you want to give your shot?
Yeah. I heard what Tyrone said about like, it's not just Poch and stuff. I hear that, but Poch, we know he's a certain case. Like there's players at Spurs. What Kyle Walker, when he moved to Man City, he spoke about his time at Spurs under Poch. Ricky Lambert spoke about his time under Poch and how he'll run players into the ground early and stuff. So I think it's mainly is a Poch thing. And in a way, I'm kind of glad he didn't get to use Reece and Nkuku and Lavia because the quality those players have, we would have finished higher up the table. We probably would have won that Carabao Cup against Liverpool and he would still be in a job at Chelsea. So I'm glad with that. But in terms of Maresca, guys, he knows how to keep players fit and prolong them. Like last year at Leicester, he had an injury-prone squad, and yet he was still able to keep players fit as long as he could. Ricardo Pereira, you guys remember him?
Mm-hmm.
When he was in the Prem at Leicester? You guys remember him for being an injury-prone right-back? That he always had the ability, but he was just never fit consistently. Last season was the first season in a very long time where the guy didn't pick up injuries.
Yeah, unlocked him. Pause.
So yeah, I'm glad. Tyrone's right. Reece has been like fit for a while because when a few days before the Liverpool game, they were posting, Chelsea account and stuff were posting about Reece being in training or whatever. But like I've seen Reece training with Chelsea for like a month now, over a month. He's been in training. He's been putting in the work. I think they were saving him for this Liverpool game to play, which is fine. Like he plays against Liverpool, doesn't play today. He'll play against Newcastle. He'll play against Newcastle, won't play midweek, play against Man United. It is what it is. I'm happy we can start keeping players fit now. I think we can start like pushing and now because what a fully fit squad, the quality we have within it. We can do something. We can do something.
We can finally utilize that quality. Yeah, fully.
Yes,
and tonight's an example. And tonight's an example of that. And well, with Felix as well, because have we finally found that guy a position tonight, a proper one, not pushing him out left, right? Letting him get that space forward.
He's always been a central player. Him and Nkuku. They're quite like, I guess, similar in a way. Nkuku's more of a goal scorer, fair enough, but they're quite similar in terms of they're not tens, but they're not strikers either. They're kind of like false nines. They like to play within the
deep lying forwards was the expression back in the day, like a Bergkamp. They used to sit just slightly in front of the back four.
I mean, I didn't want to mention Bergkamp because I didn't want anyone to get triggered and think I'm comparing him to Bergkamp.
That's an example. I'm not comparing them.
No, I know, but like, no, you are right in sort of like they're false nines, false forwards. They like to play within the
secondary strikers, as they used to be known as back in the day.
Yeah,
secondary strikers.
And the fact those two can actually play together and link up together is working very well.
Yeah, because Felix stays more to the left, where Nkuku stays more. They don't get in each other's way, which I think is actually helpful. And when they need to, they can open up and get into the wide areas.
When one will drop in, the other can kind of push in beyond, and vice versa. Look, what Maresca's done at Chelsea early, he's created partnerships all over the pitch. Like when you look at Nick Madueke Palmer as a partnership, Palmer Jackson as a partnership. You've got Fofana Colwell as a partnership. You've got Caicedo Lavia as a partnership. You've got Nkuku and Felix as a partnership. You've got Vega and Mudryk as a partnership. He's creating links all over the pitch. The more you guys play together, like, it strengthens the bond and it strengthens our team, because being able to bring players in and out, but you're still having links with each other on the pitch, it's only going to help more. So, yeah, I'm uh, I'm happy. I don't know. Does that answer the question that you had or not?
Oh no, I was just more looking for opinions, and I'll ask JBT. Like, what are you feeling about Felix now? We find, because I asked obviously Prime if we found him a position, like the one that actually suits him in a system that suits him, and it shows that versatility. Like, obviously both Prime and Tyrone have both mentioned, and about now that we've actually got a fit squad, which me and you have mentioned, all of a sudden we look a lot better in these bucket games, if you like. So. Give me your feeling on Felix's performance tonight, because he came for a bit of money. We kind of both looked in this signing saying, you know what, we don't really need him. But now that he's here and he can do a job and can produce quality, is he going to try and burst into the first team, or is this guy destined to be the second B team? I believe you called it earlier.
I think he's just gonna be in the B team, because who is he realistically gonna be replacing for? Well, one, we don't really play in that role. I mean, if you want to play like as far as like for the 10 going up and to play like the second striker, that'll be more so coming off the bench, because that is going to imply that, you know, he's going to be replacing Palmer in that sense. And or if not, then we're going to put Palmer out to the right, which is we're essentially taking out our best like weapon and our best player and putting him over to the right, which he can still put in you know, a good performance, but limited, you know, opposed to like, you know, roaming more freely in the middle. But if it's gonna be for that second striker option, wouldn't so it would be between him and Cuckoo. And right now, I think unless, you know, again, this is gonna be an option coming off the bench to replace Nicholas Jackson, unless we get a striker in January or in the summer, which is still, I think we're heavily linked with Victor.
Please don't anyone talk about Osherman. I'm sick and tired of death of hearing about Osherman and what could be. When we stand there with the shirt and he's holding it and all that kind of, that's when I'll get gassed.
Yeah, but it's true though. I mean, it's a move that Chelsea could realistically be making, and then now we're gonna have another.
Bro, we should have done and dusted it in the summer when we needed it.
Blame his agent. Blame his agent. But either way, yeah.
Let me. Sorry, keep talking. But I've got. I can actually bring up something, because we're talking about Osherman and Jackson and stuff.
Go on, then. Go on. No, I ain't. But go on.
No. I mean, JPT can keep speaking. I'm gonna share my screen and bring something up.
Oh, okay, not a problem. But also too, like, so if this is something that, like, because you even said we need to get a striker, from when you said during the summertime, if this is someone we're gonna get, we're also got to keep in mind we also got Kendry Paez coming next summer, and we have Esteban Willian coming in the summer. So now we
should have signed Osherman instead of Felix.
But we had to buy a player from Atletico, or else the Conor
Gallagher thing don't work. Yeah, we should have kept Conor. Well, yeah.
Should we have?
Well, do you read? Is Felix that much more of a squad player than Conor?
Yeah, but Felix and Conor is not the comparison. The comparison would be.
Hang on, this is goals and assists for strikers. Okay.
Yeah.
And Isaac, I just saw that he was somewhat linked to Arsenal as well, so this would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. You're talking about how is this in defense of Jackson? Is it Prime?
No, but this is showing about Jackson. That,
he's been a good signing for us. I think he's been a good signing.
Yep.
I think he's been a very good signing.
Discipline issue. That's it.
He's just young, man. He's just young. Because I'm not being funny. Everyone forgets this guy's only 22, 23. When he's 26, 27, and if he's smashing in 30 goals, everyone will be like, oh, what a player, Chelsea. Because I'm not being funny. A lot of people forget what happened with Drogba. He wasn't smashing it. I swear, actually, in terms of appearances to goals, I swear Nicholas Jackson's actually got more than Drogba.
That
So,
and Drogba's first year and a half. I'm just using it to prove the point of like
because I'm thinking
everyone
because
loves
we've never.
everyone loves to
Sorry.
say stuff like, you know, he's not that good. People want to talk about Havertz being
Yeah.
better or
No,
Isaac and stuff.
He
I've been saying
outscored
about Jack,
Havertz
he's one
last.
of the
Yeah, he
best players.
outscored Havertz last season. Anyone that's saying about comparing,
I
he
know, but
outscored
yeah,
Havertz.
I know.
It's
I'm just
embarrassing.
looking like when you look at his numbers. His numbers are amongst the best in this league. When you look at the best goal scorers, Salah, Haaland, his numbers are comparable to them.
I
Non-penalty
like
goals, his
that.
numbers are comparable.
And
I
that tally
really
could have
do.
been doubled, to be honest,
If
because
he
of just
scored the goals.
if this, yeah, the number of chances this
Wait.
guy's missed,
Yeah,
but it's
but
still
you got
look
to
at
remember
his
that.
when he's on
If
target.
we
No,
played,
wait,
if we had a better
wait.
system last year,
Wait,
we easily
hang
get
on.
20.
No, but hang on, wait. Go back to the goals. Go back. Was it 27 he got, right? Is that what it
27
says
GA.
there? Yeah. Yeah. Can I just ask a question, right? You need to put something like slash like half Tottenham, because I'm not being funny. He could have scored about 12 goals in that game. He really could have. And he's missed a couple of. I'm not hating on him, but he's not the complete product yet. But he's got bundles of potential, and he scored against Liverpool at the weekend as well, didn't he? So and he was robbed against them last year in the final. Let me
Bro,
bring that up right now. He
he's
got
more
robbed
complete.
last year in the
He's
final.
more complete than a lot of
People
the top
think. Yeah,
strikers
I agree
around.
with you. He's underestimated. And people said he was offside because of his hand as well. That was so embarrassing. I even checked
Was
the
that him or
UEFA.
Sterling? Oh no, he gave the pass to Sterling.
He
That's
gave
right.
the pass to start, but when they checked the offside, they did it
It
by
was
his hand,
his.
didn't it?
Same thing with
Also,
Lukaku.
the game against Liverpool, like, didn't have per se the best of first half. So he was trying to play like a Drogba bully type role against Van Dijk. That didn't work. But in the second half, when he started pulling out, playing in the channels, he was a lot more effective, dropping in deep. And then the first chance he got, scored it. Through on goal, scored it. That's him last season. He's missing that completely. But again, he's learning, he's growing, he's developing. I trust
There you
Jackson.
go.
That's all I want to say.
I like him. If you're going to develop a young team, you're going to need to give a guy like him a season or two. I'm sorry, like if we are Project Youth, then you go by what it is. It's Project Youth. You give them 2-3 seasons to develop, and then they become a team like how Man United and Barcelona were, where hopefully they can go on a spree for 5 or 6 years, kicking ass and taking names. So, like, no offense. Right, we all agree that there was certain logic to Broye and them lot's like approach, but we couldn't get around it. You removed all the experience. That's what we didn't understand. There wasn't a balance between experience and youth. It was just youth. So, because we all know the players we signed talent-wise. And by the way, because people still forget, we're the youngest team in the Premier League as well. By 23 and a half.
I mean,
Yeah.
a majority of our team is like under 24, and I think there was like something that was showing like 3 players that are 21, 3 players that are 22, about another 4 that are 23, 24. A majority of these guys are not even in their prime, which is around like 27, 28. So we do have a team set to go.
Because that's what makes us laugh about Chelsea fans. Oh, Liverpool's kids beat Chelsea, and I was like, motherfucker, we were nothing but kids.
It's just because they had two 17-year-olds on the pitch that means like, oh, so the whole team is kids. The people who were involved in their goals was Tsimikas, Van Dijk.
Right. Van Dijk isn't a child, and he scored
Exactly.
the winning goal.
You got the seniors scoring the goals for you, but you're like, it was me and my kids. No,
narrative.
bro.
No. Narrative.
It's a narrative.
People love to push him. But anyway, let me quickly ask TT, are you still there, brother? Because what's your feeling on Felix? If he hears me that in about 5 seconds. Or can someone else say it? I don't know.
He'll probably come on. He'll probably come in any second now, but
well, give him a second. If he speaks, he speaks. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Okay. All right. Well. Respect. Let me speak. Shall respect. Sorry. But yeah. All right. Cool. So Mudryk. We'll flip on to Mudryk. How do we all? And I'll start off with Prime on this one. How do we feel about how Mudryk played? Because I thought he was pretty good today. Man of the match, always a threat, getting his head down, running, make it terrifying their left-hand side. And considering this guy's actually a number 10 by trade, not a left winger, he's having to adapt a lot. So, like, give me your take on Mudrik's performance tonight.
Who goes first?
Well, in this game, I think he was man of the match by far. He was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I think some of our players in our squad need to start trusting Mudrik more and giving him the ball more. The way this guy can actually play, he can consistently beat a man. He can put in quality crosses in the box with his left or right foot. He's got a decent rate of pass. That's it. The only problem with him was like decision making and not being actually coached properly. This is the first time he's actually being coached, and you're seeing it now make a difference for him.
I can agree on that straight away.
The talent's always been there. That's why I've never really given up on him. The talent's always been there, and we're starting to see it now. And the way Maresca's handling him is perfect.
Fair enough.
This is going to be a big season for Mudrik. It's going to be a big season for Mudrik. So we'll see whether he makes it's make or break for him. Ultimately, this is a big season for him.
JPT?
Yeah, I agree, and it's not like this. Even though he might have been an expensive signing, he's not like he's on crazy wages or nothing. Like, just to be petty, I mean, he could be on wages like a Mason Mount and contributed shit, but he's not. He's on what, 80, 90K a week, if that. And so far, I think he needs this run of cup competitions for him, because I think he's been getting a goal or assist in these games. Because he got I think one assist or two assists from Barrow. He's got another one in the Servette games, and he's got two today. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought he mistimed his header and missed. But big up Crane. I'll see you next time, hopefully over the weekend. For if anyone's doing a watch along, I won't be able to be on the watch along this weekend. But yeah.
Yeah, I will be this time, hopefully, if there's no lacquer in the air and I'm not choking. Because Newcastle, so it's Sunday.
I gotta be up back home. I celebrated last week with my mother's family. Now I gotta celebrate with my father's family this weekend. So it's I'll be away from
Dodgy being Peruvian,
TV.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait,
Crazy.
what's happening?
Oh, that I'm not gonna be able on the watch along because I gotta go back up home to visit my dad's family, because I spent last weekend with my mother's family. So I'm like, all right, so I gotta do more traveling. So yeah, but to go back on to Mudryk, I think he's been good. I think he is getting better, getting back into his usual self. Um, I think he will be a player that by the end of the season, everyone's gonna looking at themselves and saying we were wrong about this guy. He wasn't a flop. It was, when did we get him? During the Potter era or during the Poch era?
What's that?
What did you say?
Mudryk. When did we get him? During
We
Poch or
bought
Potter
him
era?
in January.
Yeah, Potter.
Potter era. So
Because this will be
either way,
second full season.
it's been ship management since until Maresca came into the team, and now, like as Prime and TT mentioned, he's got a proper manager that can help him. And now even Maresca's proving that was wrong too. Everyone was looking at, why are we going for a championship level manager? He hasn't really done anything. He's only won the was it U21 Premier League with City, and I was one of them too, because it's a risk. I still think we should have gone for Flick, but it looks like it's paying out, and I think he's reviving a lot of these players' careers.
I will say he's handling the players well, but there's still a results business. So everyone's dropping out now for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is results business. So that's in anything.
But I will say this, in terms of ticking boxes and doing things that I like, I would say yes. The player's fitness and how he takes care of them and involves all of them as well. That's been a big plus for me. I respect how he's handling the players. How he handles the results and tactics will be different, but we'll see on that one. But and I wanted to have a quick talk about this guy as well. Christopher Nkunku. I think he's one of our highest goal scorers this season as well. He's got like 8 goals, isn't he?
I think so. And yes, I think 2 or 3 of those are from penalties, but he's still got to get the goal. So I'm not knocking him down.
Well,
He's doing
like I
this
said
off the
earlier,
bench.
if Salah can do all this from being marked as one of the best players in just from scoring lots of penalties, why not Nkunku? Because I'm not
That's
being funny.
true.
Wasn't this what we were missing at the beginning of last season? Because I'm not being funny, right? Hang on, I need to check, but I think he's got 6 or 7 goals. Maybe Prime.
Here's
Prime. How many goals has Christopher Nkunku got this season so far? Is it 7 or 8?
He's got.
I see one Prem goal and 3
I
cup
just
goals.
read it. I think it's like 8 goals, 1 on international duty.
All right, so yeah, he's got in terms of his seat, yeah. So he's back. So that's 7 goals for us, then one goal for country, or goal involvements, or whatever you want to call it.
Or yeah, I think it's something like that. Or 6 goals.
One
Or
goal
something.
for the Prem, 2 for the conference, 2 for conference
So 5.
qualifiers, and then 3 for the Carabao Cup. So 8 total.
Yeah.
So he's got 8.
So,
So he's got 8 goals. Yeah. So are we starting to see the Christopher Nkunku what we were supposed to see last season before he got injured? Because this is actually a curious one, because I think Christopher Nkunku played very well tonight as well. I didn't get a chance to watch all the game, but he didn't make any mistakes on his link-up play. He was hooking up. He was on the right-hand side tonight. Was it Madwiki again?
No.
It was it Neto on the right side at the start, and he was linking up with him well. You know what I mean? They were swapping around. And one thing I would say I haven't seen in a long time was quite a few overlaps at Chelsea. You don't see overlaps at Chelsea that much anymore in terms of the right fullback going past the right winger, then swapping round. Like, it was quite nice to see. And I think Felix had the same thing on the left as well. So I think we're starting to see what we paid 55 odd million quid for. But it's one of those ones, I think it's starting to pay off, because one thing about it is, and Prime touched on it when he said about Jackson, we don't necessarily need a guy that will score 25, 30, 40 goals a season if everybody else is scoring 15. If you know what I mean. Like, it could be a team effort instead of relying on one goal source, because like Felix can be played as a centre forward. Obviously, Nkunku can play as a centre forward. Jackson can. If I miss anyone else, that suits the position in terms of a false 9, quite a few. Palmer can play there as well, etc., etc. But are we finally seeing what we paid for in Christopher Nkunku, and how far can he go? And I'll start off with JPT on this one.
I want to say yes. I mean, all considered, all but one of the goals came from outside of the Prem. But then again, like I said, he's limited with minutes. I'm happy to see this because, considering his injury record starting from when he picked up that I think, was it a foot or knee injury before the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what we would see, like, the Nkunku we seen in Germany. But I think it's good. I mean, and what's good is too is that he can be seen as a leader for like this for the second team, being that he is like one of our older players at 26, which is still crazy to say. But he does have like that I don't know if like striker mentality, but more so that he's looking for the kill. He's got that killer instinct, and he is a good team player. I think he was a great addition that a lot of people wrote off because of his injuries and because of how likes of Poch were just setting him back with his injuries. Yeah. So I don't know if it's say like he's back, but I'm confident with this guy being in the team, and when called upon, I feel like we're in safe hands.
Yeah, because to be honest, because I swear, virtually every time as JPT said, he's had limited minutes at Chelsea, and most of them sub appearances. But one way or the other, whether it be penalty or whatever, like, he always finds a way of getting on the score sheet. And I'm quite happy because I like the guy. I think he's a very technical footballer. This is the guy we signed from RB that ripped Man City apart and got a hat-trick against them. It's not the full article yet, because I still think he needs a full season of playing before any real player needs a full season of playing before you can say they've truly adapted. And I think it's much the same with what was happening with Mudryk. It's now this guy's getting his fitness back. Instead of having a guy that's running him into the ground, he's slowly getting his form back. The confidence is coming back. as well. Now that we're getting a good run of games, because a lot of people also forget the reason why we sucked so much last season is because at the beginning of the season we barely had an 11. Now we have 25, 24, 23 players fit. Everyone's like, oh, look at what Chelsea are doing. And it's just like, yeah, really? Okay. You know what I mean? Because people forget. They try to banter us, but they forget that a lot of what's happened to us over the last couple of seasons has been circumstance, bad luck, and the British government. So, like, not many teams go through what we go through, man. And I think Prime said it, or Tyrone said it earlier, when now that Arsenal fans have had a taste of injury, like how we have had a taste of it over the last 3 years, it's bittersweet, isn't it? Because it sucks. Because it doesn't matter how good. If you can't get your best 11 on the pitch, it doesn't matter how good the first 11 is, does it? You know what I mean? Like, so, like, and Prime, you give me your take, man. What do you see for Christopher Nkunku? How far can he go? Can he break into the first team? Is he destined to be a bench warmer, though? What's
I
your
don't
take
get
on
this
Christopher?
thing of that he had a great game. I don't think he had a great game. I think he was okay.
Okay, but he has been in decent form this year.
He has been, but Maresca sees him as a striker, and currently he's not better than Jackson. That's why he's not starting.
All right, so give me your take on, like, is he going to be destined to be a bench warmer then? What do you think? Like,
No, I think he'll eventually get into the team and start. But
what's your personal take on it
it's
then?
just, I don't know. It is what it is right now. I mean, I don't know. I'd be interested to see Jackson out wide and Kuku up top, but again, Jackson doesn't deserve to be shifted out of position.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, ultimately, we'll see. But we've got a squad, so I don't view this as a thing of he's on the bench, so it's a problem. We've got a squad. We should have the squad depth. I'm happy we have this squad depth. I'm happy we have this quote unquote problem.
Well, yes, it's not a problem we have often, is it? Let's face it.
I would say though that I mean it's true. He's not gonna replace Jackson by the way that Jackson's looking like and the way he's getting his GA up. I would say though he will. It is good to having Kuka as an option more so because Jackson he's gonna accumulate a lot of yellow cards and
Yeah, he is because of his style.
so his suspension is gonna occur and this is where we'll be like okay we got Nkuku not to worry. But yeah, of course, no. Right now, no one's saying that Nkuku is better than Jackson.
No, that's not the point. The point is
right.
that's not the point of the question. The point isn't to compare to Jackson to remove Jackson. The point is like how far now that we're seeing Christopher Nkunku, what we paid for, what
Mhm.
can he do for us? Now I'm not being funny, like was mentioned earlier. Jackson's not going to have a great game every game. It's a tactical switch, yes. Or if you're bringing him on, say Felix on together, you can go to a formation like we did tonight. So, like, you know what I mean? Where the emphasis is on the two front players on giving Chelsea the width and bringing everyone else into play, where supposedly it's all two wingers with a central striker. So it's versatility as well. So, you know what I mean? Like, different strokes for different folks in terms of, like, when we come up against different teams with different tactics. Because the main tactic at the moment seems to be with just counter us. Liverpool did it. Forest tried to do it. Probably Arsenal will definitely try and do it when we play them. I've got a feeling even Newcastle will probably try and do it when they come to the bridge on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, but I do like what I'm seeing from Nkunku because I do think JPT said it a minute ago that he's got something that a lot of the Chelsea players don't have, and that's a killer instinct. Because one thing about it is like Palmer, he knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. And quite often, when that guy shoots and he actually gets his shot away and it's not blocked, it does quite often like go on target. So I'm interested to see how his season develops, almost as interestingly as I'm interested in Mudrik's, because I still think there's a lot more to come from both of them. Would we not say that's fair?
Yeah, I mean if it does help too, and if anyone who is a stat sexual, he's in 27 games compared to when he was at
Wait,
PSG.
what?
It because I came across this I was like there's really well I forgot that he even played for PSG but while he played 78 games there opposed to 27 with us he's already equalized or equaled his
What,
goal
Nkunku?
tally of 11. Yeah, the only thing that he's missing is 4 assists. So, but he can get 4 more goals by the end of December, and there you go. So I'm just saying like he's already got the same amount of goals he had in his whole time at PSG in about less than half of the games.
Well, that's improvement by definition. So
Hmm
But out of the three, who do you out of the bench players, if you like, and you can talk about the whole squad on this one? Who do you think would give Enzo Maresca the biggest headache?
Nkuku.
Any player or the strikers?
Any player. Well, Nkuku's one. Right? Who else?
Noni.
Noni's a
'Cause I
starter.
But I'm saying that right now I think Neto makes an argument to be a starter.
Well, yeah, all right, then, because I
I
haven't
don't
seen
think
Neto
so.
start other than
I
Liverpool,
don't think he
maybe.
makes an argument to start right now.
Really, you don't think? I mean,
That's always poor today.
because I know Enzo likes to start Noni, and that's fine, like, because he is a good player. But there are times where, like, okay, maybe we should look for the past, which was a big criticism of him on the last couple of games, minus the Liverpool one.
Really. But Neto hasn't done enough to warrant a start.
So who do you reckon then has done enough to warrant a start?
I mean, Nkuku arguably, but Jackson has also warranted not being dropped. So
Right.
Like you said, it's a good headache to have.
Lavia maybe with over Enzo.
Lavia's a starter.
That was going to be
Zero
my
start.
shout, by the way. I was going to say Lavia, but shit, JBT.
I mean, Enzo played it today, which shows that Lavia and Caicedo will play on the weekend.
Yeah, it's the way forward. But don't we all agree that's probably our best defensive partner, midfield partnership in terms of balance?
And you guys saw at Anfield against Liverpool, he bossed that midfield. Caicedo had less defensive responsibility, so he was allowed to play more with freedom and actually drive with the ball forward. I haven't seen Caicedo drive with the ball like that since Lavia's been injured.
Well, he can't because he's got too much defensive responsibility. Like you said,
Right.
he's the one that has to slip back. Because realistically, and Prime always mentioned this, and it's true, if you actually look at Caicedo's role and what he's good at, not the job he's been given, but what he's actually good at, he's good at bringing the ball out of defence into the midfield and then doing damage from there. Where a lot of people have seen us kind of use him as a holding midfielder, like a proper ball winning, which he's not. We all know he's not.
Look at Enzo, how he played today. Enzo played in the role that I've wanted him to play in under Maresca, as our single pivot dictating the tempo. What I would like to see in the Prem is Enzo play deeper and then have, say, Caicedo play in front of him. If you're going to play Caicedo and Enzo together, switch them. Don't have Caicedo be the deepest man. Have Enzo be the deepest man. Let Cucurella invert with him in midfield, and then have our two, like, attacking eights or whatever you want to call them, be Palmer and Caicedo. That's what I would do. I think that's the best bet forward. It matches what he was doing at Leicester, and I think that would be a strong balance, regardless of who plays deeper in Lavia or Enzo. Caicedo should be playing a bit more further forward so he can pick up the ball, he can drive with it. There's no one in the league that can beat Caicedo once he's driving with the ball. He's the best midfielder in the league at doing that.
Well, I do agree that I prefer to see Enzo sitting back and dictating the pace, because one thing about with Enzo, when he's further up the pitch, if he can't get his head up, which is quite often he doesn't have time on the ball, and that makes him ineffective. So I would prefer him to be sitting back where the space is and be like the proper deep line playmaker that he's supposed to be, and let him just ping the balls off like. And I will say this: one thing about it, as I said, Caicedo is not actually a natural defensive midfielder. What's the expression that Metzala or whatever, a guy that sits in the middle and like is a link between the two. He isn't one or the other.
A regista, you mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought Regista had more like played.
That's a regista, a deep line playmaker. A regista.
Like, is that a Pirlo?
Yes,
Pirlo. Yeah, it's a Pirlo role. It's the Pirlo role. Yeah, as opposed to the ball-winning midfielder, which would be the Makelele role. If everyone wants to put a name on it.
I mean, I even think Caicedo is more of like he's much more further forward than Makelele. Caicedo, he's more of an Kante profile.
Yeah,
where
is he more so box to box?
Who?
Like Kante.
Well, because he's more box to box than Makelele or maybe a Pirlo or an Enzo, I suppose.
Which is like a Kante, which is what I like people. Because Kante was such a brilliant ball winner, people forgot like Kante could actually carry the ball forward and drive with it.
Well, that's
so
what
many
Conte.
times.
That's what Conte got out of him that Mourinho didn't. Because you remember his goal against Man U when Mourinho came back and we slapped him 4-0. Kante got a lot more further forward, and everyone was like, "What the hell is he doing?" Then he bent up. Who was it? He turned, then shot and
Pogba.
scored. Like I can't. Was it
He also
Pogba?
did it. He also did it under Sarri as well. He was playing further forward. People were like, "Why is he not playing as a DM?" Because he's not a DM. He's never really been a DM.
One thing about people misunderstand about Makelele was because everyone says Kante is like Makelele. No, he's not, because Makelele didn't have half the amount of energy that Kante did to run around. Because that's the thing. Kante is like having two people on the pitch. But people say that. But Makelele you only had one, but he was always in the place he needed to be. Because one thing about it is he was clever. He never went past the halfway line, very rarely. But he was clever because he would always shut down the space and the options for the opposition. So, and he knew exactly where to be. That was what would make, because Makelele was a clever midfielder. Because
Makelele was an actual anchor.
Yes.
Whereas Kante is someone who will go around and sniff out danger. Kante couldn't anchor in midfield. We've seen him play as a DM, and it never worked.
No, it never worked.
He never sit on his own.
Because one thing about Makelele, and Carrick kind of did it good for Man United when he was there, he could play the simple ball out, the intelligent ball out, the one that wouldn't get your team into trouble. He would begin
master of the 5-yard pass. Makelele.
Well, there you go. So Prime knows what I'm talking about. Where you say when you're actually playing out a defense, you need your midfielders to be able to spot the right pass in terms of when you're going up the pitch and you're moving as a whole team.
You have to know 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing about a Carrick and a Makelele that which was good about it. They already knew where they were going to. And Fabregas, when he played deeper for us as well, because he already had that eye for a pass, you already know where the ball's going before the ball gets to your feet. That's the thing that, like, what Prime just said about that's one thing that no footballer in this generation has. They're not thinking 3 or 4 passes ahead.
That's what Enzo should be doing, though. Enzo should be able to control a game.
Yeah, I know. But for us, he hasn't quite. Argentina, he's reached more that sort of level, but not so much for us. So,
is that so much more of it because he has the Paul next to him, so it kind of works for him in that role?
Who you mean for?
Enzo.
But when you watch Argentina, everyone in that team has to work because you're all playing for Messi. You all have to make up the ground that Messi's not doing. So at Argentina, he's working. That he plays in the midfield with De Paul and McAllister. They're all working in that midfield. Whereas, Chelsea session says facts. Yeah, like they're all having to work. So at Chelsea, and Enzo does work at Chelsea. Like considering how,
of course I do.
Considering people say he's bad off the ball, Enzo's off the ball work is actually quite good. Tonight, off the ball, he was brilliant. And again, it's Panathinaikos, so whatever.
In fact, big up
that's my problem.
Yeah, it's what job he's doing when he's off the ball. That's the difference. When you're sitting in space waiting for a pass, that's one thing. When you're in a proper deep line, like how he's been used or utilized in terms of the pivot he's in, when he has to partner with someone and come down and cover defensive space, that's when you see the worst of Enzo. Because
not even that. No,
I'm talking about when he gets brushed off physically, Prime, because he's been brushed off physically at times.
Yeah, but I don't even think he gets brushed off that much for it to be a problem for me, anyways. My problem with
I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying this is the ups and downs to the midfield.
I know, but like his weaknesses for me aren't that. I don't care about that. You're meant to be someone who can dictate the tempo of the play. That's your strong point. That's your selling point. And you don't do that. That's the problem I have with Enzo. Like, I look at a player and I look at their strengths and weaknesses. Do your strengths offload your weaknesses? Enzo's strengths are meant to offload his weakness. Look at Trent, for example. He's not that good defensively, but he's brilliant going forward. And Trent's strengths offloads his weaknesses, so it's worth it for people to play him.
Well, like you said with the Europa League tonight, maybe like in teams that are going to sit back more against weaker opposition, that's going to be the guy that plays and unlocks a lot of doors. So grow from that, and get better at.
And it's good now that they're all fit because now Maresca has certain options to use. So if that means that play Enzo deeper to unlock a defense, then do it. Don't play in like as a twin 10 with Palmer. That's not going to work. It's not never.
TT, are you with us? Can you hear us? Because I want to ask you a question if I can. Because he's back.
I'm here. I'm here. Just the delay still.
All right. Well, I'll speak slowly. Do me a favor. Tell me who you believe right now should be breaking into the Chelsea first team in terms of the first 11. Because we were discussing players about who's done enough to warrant breaking into the team. And we're talking about the Lavia Enzo thing. Give me your opinion on who you think's knocking on the door of getting in the 11 right now.
Uh, um, I'm trying to think of. Individuals other than Lavia. Because Lavia is supposed he needs to start. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Um, Honestly, I'm probably being harsh, but I'm not seeing anybody really like the pushing through. I mean, Neto, there's a show for Neto. But even Neto was really good in the first half of this match. So I don't know. He did enough to say that okay, good, he's a good competitor. Maybe you can put him on the left where Sancho is not offering that from Neto. But I can't think of anybody else other than Lavia right now. The defense is bad on its own side. I don't see anybody really making a claim for why they should be starting over either Fafana or
Ain't
Levi
that the
forward.
truth? Fucking hell.
Yeah, and that's not good. That's not good. We need competition, and I don't see the competition there. Tosin is far from it. Disasi is pretty poor. Body Shield has the Bozo gene. I don't see anybody else other than Lavia right now. I don't know, and that's sad.
In Cuckoo?
Oh well, Nkunku, I completely forgot about Nkunku. I think he should. I don't like I forgot about Nkunku. Like I don't know why, but with Jackson, I think Jackson should be wide, and you can play Nkunku as centrally because I think you can get some of the problem, especially in low block against low block teams. Because Jackson was very bad against Liverpool. Even though he scored, he was very bad. He was marked out of the game. He was struggling to get passes. So I think Nkunku's the only one that Nkunku and Lavia, slightly Neto, are the only ones that can really make a claim for it. I can't see anybody else.
All right. Well, just to quickly then, we'll sum it up. Right. How confident were you all going into the Newcastle game on Sunday? And I'll start off with JPT, then I'll ask Prime, then I'll ask TT, and we'll wrap this up. So, what are you feeling? Because I'll see if I can talk to Strasbourg Steve over the weekend as well. Maybe see if we can get a little preview in on Saturday or something. But
That'd be dope.
yeah, that would be dope. Rope-a-dope.
This has to be a win. We're at the bridge. We should be winning this game with, I won't say with ease, but
Yeah,
if we don't win
Newcastle
by,
look rocked. Yeah, they look Anthony Joshua, man. They look rocked.
yeah, but then again, like these teams, like they wake up against us, but if they can lose, and all with respect to Brian, because technically, I mean, yeah, they are above us on the table at this point. They went to St. James and, well, the result blanked them. I think 1-0. So if they're going to come to the bridge, we should win it by at least 2 goals. And so if we win by 3-1, I'll be happy. So we should come up with a win. I won't be surprised if we make a mistake, which doesn't keep the clean sheet like someone like today. But this right now is a good time to beat Newcastle. I mean, we did it under Poch. If we can do it with them, with all of our injuries, under that shit manager, we should do this with Maresca with 0 injuries.
Prime?
Yeah, we'll beat them. I'm confident Newcastle don't really pose as much of a threat that we can handle. I think Isaac has scored, I think, 1 goal all season or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but would it be so like it for him to turn up against us and get a hat trick?
He won't. Gordon's the only real threat in their team in terms of attack, but he got reaching, so he'll be fine. Don't really have a right hand side to worry about. Tonal is the only midfielder I see as a genuine threat. The way he can get on the ball and dictate a tempo of the game. That's the midfielder I want Enzo to be. But whatever. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
All right.
That St. James's as well. So I think they'll be invited to actually come out. which can suit us. So we can sit in a bit of a mid block and catch them out on the counter, draw them out
Is it-
like we did against like we did to the West Ham,
Mm-hmm.
where we played it when we sat a little bit and like drew them out and hit them. I think we can do that against Newcastle.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the bridge, so yeah, we should
Yeah,
have
it
that
is at the bridge,
confidence.
yeah.
Oh, it's
It's gonna be-
the Carabao
yeah.
Cup games at the
Carabao Cup.
James. Yeah,
Yeah, that's on
Yeah.
Tuesday. That's next
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Wait, it's gonna be an interesting midfield battle because it's gonna be what Lavia, Caicedo, and Palmer versus what Joelinton, Guimaraes, and
Tonali.
Tonali. It's gonna be interesting to see. But if we win that midfield battle, it's lights out because what is it? They got Nick Pope back, but they have a lot of injuries in their defense, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'm not being funny. We won the midfield battle against Liverpool at Anfield, so I don't
Mhm.
see why we shouldn't be able to.
Why did you do that, Wolfie? Why Wolfie? Why Wolfie? Why? That was what I was gonna start with. I don't like you, Wolfie. I was about to say that. I was gonna say that. We won the midfield battle against Liverpool, but we still.
I said that
we
at the
still
beginning
lost.
of
I
the
was gonna say
stream,
that.
brother. How delayed is that feed to you, bro? I
Unbelievable.
said that at the beginning of the stream. Ha ha! And over to TT. What are you saying about the game on Sunday?
Right. So I was gonna come back what JPT just said. Unbelievable, man. Honestly. But anyways, yeah, I was gonna say that the midfield battle. Yeah, it would be nice to win the midfield battle. But I mean, at the end of the day, well, you guys mentioned it. And Prime mentioned the fact that Isak probably scored 1 goal this season, I think. So it would be a classic Charity FC if he just happens to get a brace. He breaks that. He breaks that.
Whenever anyone
we
breaks
call
a
it that.
duck, bro, it's always against us, bro. Kai
Yeah.
Havertz will be on a 10-game duck. And when he played us last season, when they smashed us, he scored. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so Chelsea, isn't it? And recent
Yeah.
Chelsea. That's what I'm gonna say. Just more recently. But yeah, do you
Yeah.
think we'll comfortably? But do you agree with the boys though? Do you think we'll comfortably beat them?
I wouldn't say comfortably. I think we will beat them. I don't know if it'll be comfortable because I do think that as Prime mentioned, we will be able to draw them out. We'll be able to get beyond them as well. But the problem is I'm
Hey,
not
big up,
comfortable with that defense. Not comfortable with that defense. So I don't really think that I don't think the game will be easy in that sense. If it's easy, then fantastic. But I don't think it'll be easy. But I think we'll be able to beat them. I feel like I'm not repeating everything JPT said. That's the downside of going last.
Andy,
this is the best time to beat them.
Hang on 1 second, TT.
Yeah.
Andy, are you free over the weekend? Let me know if you're free on Saturday evening. I want to get you and Strasbourg Steve on for a little head-to-head with me and JPT, man. Beer swilling and pool playing and all sorts. I hope you're well, bro. I hope you're well. Big up to see you, man. Big up Andy Bell. Hope you're doing well, bro. I'm still waiting for you to start your channel. Big up. Hope you're doing good. Sorry, TT, you were saying, brother.
Right. So I'm saying that the downside to going last is the downside to going last is that I'll have to be. It's like I'm gonna be repeating what everybody else said if I agree with it. So it's the best time to beat Newcastle. They're doing pretty poor. They've not won in the last 3 games, so it's the best time to get a result. But it won't be easy. And what's his name? Eddie Howe loves to a good game against Chelsea. So that's the next thing as well. And I don't like to face teams when they're longing to get a win because that's when they turn up against us. So I think we'll be able to win them, but I just don't think it may be easy.
Fair enough. Well, I think me personally, I think not only just the next the game against Newcastle coming, keeping them fit. Because let's be honest, part of the title of we have our bench back is keeping everybody fit. If we can keep everybody fit in this run against Arsenal, the 2 back-to-backs against Newcastle, I think we've got a good chance in all the games, really, if I'm honest. Because we're actually it's like when you got a stomach that's empty compared to when you got a stomach full. You know what I mean? There's a bit more behind the tank. You know what I mean? You can do a bit more damage, and I think fitness is going to be key. If we can keep Reece James on the up and up, keep Lavia on the up and up, Obviously, avoid silly suspensions. Like, keep the squad whole. That would be probably the best thing to say. And just get through the season. I'm not talking about like, oh, they'll blast the league and get top 4 and win a cup. I'm not talking about that. I'm just keep on the same. Because one thing I will say about Enzo, he's got us on the right trajectory. As much as it felt okay at the end of this last season with Poch, it feels better right now with Enzo, don't you? Because like we've all said in our own ways, they're actually getting coached. Their fitness and as players, individual players, seems to be taken into account as well. So what I mean, like, I think the key with Liverpool, against Newcastle and a bit against Liverpool as well in the last game and tonight, is like that rotation, keeping everybody involved, keeping everybody fresh, keeping everybody playing, trying to keep everybody fit, letting everyone work on their games individually, and then like as the whole, the team gets better. So like for me, as long as we don't get anyone injured at the weekend or sent off stupidly, I want to see a composed performance. Does that sum it up? Does that make sense to everybody? I want to see a composed performance.
No
'Cause you know what I mean?
mistakes.
No, you can make a mistake, like we saw against Panathinaikos and to a degree against Liverpool. But as long as you bring your A game most of the time, because I'm not being funny, we can let Newcastle score 1 or 2 goals, you know what I mean? Like, but supposedly, if we were like at it, you know what I mean, we concede 1 but score 3. You guys smash us in the league. I fancy us to give you a fame in the cup, and I'll be there too. I always go to the cup game. Big up, Andy, man. I hope you enjoy that. Big up. I said last season when you guys were 12th, you would finish above Newcastle unless you get 21 injuries. You're cool. Well, fair enough. Do let us know, Andy, if you're free at the weekend, man. We'll do something on Saturday. Get you and Steve on. We'll try to. I'll message you both in a minute on WhatsApp or tomorrow. Catch up with you guys. Sorry, JPT, you were gonna say.
I was just gonna say because I was looking back at the Brighton Newcastle game, or the last game, and it just, Newcastle, despite their injuries, can pose an attack. I mean, 6 shots on target is just is a good performance by Verbruggen, the goalkeeper for Brighton. So as long as we take those chances away, sort of the defense needs to show up, or send back pairing really.
One thing I will want to bring up quickly, and I'll just drop this as a last, one thing we still need to improve on, and this is only out of necessity because we seem to create a lot of them. We need to work on our set pieces. Because one thing, it's not just the defending, the attacking as well, JPT. Because if you look here, I was looking at the stats of the amount of corners.
What is Cueva doing?
What?
Oh, Cueva, the set piece coach.
Yeah.
What is Cueva doing? Like I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread with the way they were hyping him up.
We try to copy the Arsenal approach, and we got Brentford's set piece coach thinking it would be the same thing.
Well, all I know is over the last 4 games we've had 40 to 50 corners, and we barely utilize it. So it's one of those ones where I think even in the last game against Liverpool, didn't we have 10 corners? Because we actually, would it not be fair, boys, that all of us agree we do create a lot of, even if it's not intentional, we do create a lot of set pieces because we get deflected shots and block shots and this quite often. So it's kind of like if we had a bit more to us on that side of the game, right, we would even be a bigger threat because, you know what I mean? Because Badashil's got size to him, Diassi's got size to him, Fofana can be good in the air. Jackson isn't bad in the air. You know what I mean? We have got height to a degree, but Lavia can be good in set pieces in the opposition box as well, because we all said he can be a bit box to box. And I'm not being funny. I wouldn't want to come against Lavia in a set piece because I'm not being funny. The guy's a mountain. He's a miniature mountain, man. He's huge. So, I don't know.
Are you talking about Lavia?
No, the team generally. Set pieces.
No, the last person you mentioned, you were talking about Lavia.
I said I'd hate to come. Yeah, I said I'd hate to come against him in a set piece because he's huge.
How tall is he?
He's about 6'3", from what I understand. Hang on, let me someone check it for me because he's quite a big guy as well. He's quite, he's quite an imposing midfielder. Sorry.
Let me see. I'm just checking to see if it has it here. But I'll provide his height in a second. But
but set pieces I think we can utilize up because we have loads of them, and we don't punish teams with them. And I think that's something we can definitely work more on. Definitely, we got players that are good in the air, so why not?
Lavia's 5'11".
Yeah.
So he's my height.
Yeah.
Bro, he's
He's
about,
5'11".
he's about my height.
We're the same
But
height. We're the same height, Wolfie. I don't believe this.
Wolf, I think you were
181
talking about.
center.
I think
Thanks,
you were talking
babe.
about Benoit Badia's shield. Benoit is 6'4". Yeah.
Yeah, I know. No, I mentioned him as well, but Lavia's still a big bloke in terms of his width.
Yeah.
He's still a big set
Yeah,
lad.
it's,
You know what I mean?
He's like a refrigerator.
It's because he's
Yeah.
got muscle on him. It's because he's got muscle on him. But like he's 5'11". He's like
Yeah. My baby girl's just giving me the exact. He's 181 centimeters. You get Valuation Osterman, yes, bad spelling, guys. Level up and challenge Liverpool. Well, Vlahovic and we could have got Vlahovic last season, and we should have got Osterman at the beginning of this one. So it is what it is.
The way we're playing wouldn't suit a Vlahovic or Osterman.
Well, I'm not being funny. Right now, we couldn't justify that anyway, because if you were here earlier, Andy, we've actually, if you could argue, actually, Jackson's outscored Victor Osterman over the last season and a bit. So, you know what I mean? I'm happy with Jackson, and I'm pretty sure the other three lads would say the same thing at the moment, because realistically, if we're going on the up and up, and you're
No,
supposed
I'm not happy. Why would I be happy? What has Jackson done for Chelsea? He's done nothing. I can't be happy.
So what's Osterman done for Chelsea?
I'm being sarcastic.
Sarcastic. All right, he's being sarcastic. All right, no. Or an informed Isaac who's not informed. So, like, I'm not being at the minute. Isaac's looking like a one-season wonder, and so far Jackson.
Injuries.
True, but right now Jackson is outscoring Isaac comfortably.
Oh, yeah.
So that argument kind of goes out the window. So it's kind of like don't get me wrong, the only one I would actually say would be a compliment to Jackson would probably be Vlahovic, because he's a lot more physical than the other three or two. I know Osterman could be a bit of a handful on his day as well.
Yeah, but the way we play, we wouldn't utilize their height. No, other than Reece James, everyone else.
Thank you, Prime. Which goes back to what I was saying about the set pieces, about we don't utilize aspects.
Yeah, but part of our utilization of set pieces is also our delivery. Aside from Reece James, I don't trust anyone else to consistently deliver world-class balls in the box.
Well, does anyone believe what Andy said? We should sign John Stones up front. He's outscoring Isaac.
I would take John Stones at Chelsea, yes.
Oh, all right, then. There you go.
If he doesn't want to play League 2 next season, then yeah.
He's one of the best centre backs in the world. I'll take him at Chelsea.
Because he'll let one rip from distance, and that's one thing I think he was being talked about. Like I forgot where, but it's like long range shots being a thing of the past now, because it seems like everyone's trying to work their way through to the box and then just try to get a 5-6 yarder. Oh, bro, that's something like so far the goal for the season for me was with John Duran's goal, because that shit was far and it had that was it half volley.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, but yeah, I mean
it is what it is. You know what I mean? If Mutson, maybe I'm not being funny, bro. I have to say, for Chelsea fans, it was like the ultimate cock tease at the end of the track. We're linked with Osterman. We're linked with Tony. We're going to get one or the other. And then neither. It was kind of like Liverpool with Concedo and Lavia. It was just like all that for like... But then again, Jackson's done his thing. And then Cuckoo's done his thing. So, you know what I mean? They've both easily, comfortably scored 5 goals apiece. So, who needs them at the moment? At the moment, let me stress that, at the moment, because scoring goals isn't our problem, because we're second highest goal scorers in the Premier League, aren't we? Or first, one or the other, because we having stopping goals is our problem, not scoring them, to be honest. But anyway, boys, Tyrone, have you got anything coming up over the weekend you need to point people in the direction of your channel for?
Other than probably a review, I don't think so. There's nothing really interesting happening with Chelsea right now. So nothing I don't expect, unless we hear that that Chelsea have somehow decided that Aching Pong no longer belongs at the club. I don't think there's anything else to expect.
All right, brother. What about you, Prime? You popping on anyone's channels over the next couple of days?
I'm gonna do a preview with Steve on his channel. There'll be a review on Carefree Lewis G tomorrow of this game, and probably a preview as well on his channel. I'll be on Sarcasm City as well. It's probably about it, maybe.
Fair enough. And JPT, you with the family over the weekend, aren't you? So
Yeah, so I'll be back for Blues Brothers on Monday.
and it will happen
and
this Monday, by the way.
yeah. And to answer your question from earlier, if Chelsea's got the most goals, so right now it looks like we're third for goal scored behind Man City, and surprisingly Tottenham.
What is Can you check in Europe, like the top 5 European leagues? What are the top 5 goal scorers?
Top 5 goal scorers.
Is there any particular reason why you wanted to check that stat? You're just curious.
I'm curious.
Fair enough.
Let's see
So
if it says
stat will hold on for.
Not sure if this is correct because it says here it gives a list of Lewandowski, Holland, Martinez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lewandowski's actually having a good season actually because he's smashing in goals.
I was talking about teams.
Highest goal scoring teams in Europe. All right.
Yeah. In the top 5 leagues, like who are the top goal scoring teams? Curious. I know Bayern is up there. Man City will be up there. Chelsea, I'm assuming Spurs will be 2. Sporting, I'm assuming will be up there because Gyökeres is on a tear. He's scoring goals for fun.
What about Barcelona?
Yeah, Barca too. Sorry, I said Bayern, didn't I? No, not Barcelona. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
It looks like it's on UEFA.com, but it's just loading at this time. All right, so it looks like this must be of all time because there's no way this is. Yeah. So I'm not sure where to find this right now because
we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you with the stats and stuff.
It's fine. I'll find it.
Right, save it for next Blues Brothers.
So before we end, JPT, it was your birthday. It was your birthday, bro.
Oh, yeah. No, Prime just read my mind.
Yeah, you gonna speak on your birthday exploits?
Oh, I did. I had a crazy birthday. I just went to the movies by myself.
I know people get onto the stream on time, so we don't end up having the same conversation again.
I had chicken wings. And a little bit of a smoke, but that was my birthday celebration, and I couldn't have asked for anything more.
What do you watch?
Terrifier 3.
Yeah, scary movie, dude. I don't do scary movies.
It was more so. I mean, it's a scary movie, but it's just it's more so just
funny.
If you're, it's
hilarious,
gore.
Man. Yeah, it's
just blood everywhere.
If you like horror movies, how me and JPT like horror, you're not watching it because it's scary. It's funny, and
I was laughing the whole time.
Bro, I'm not being funny. I remember when I went and saw Freddy vs. Jason in cinema, right? Even though that film is cheesy as hell, because you look at what the people are doing, you're like, why would you do half of this? But when they get blood thrown into the air like 300 miles, it's funny. When you see the guy getting folded up in the bed on Freddy vs. Jason, it's hilarious because you know that guy's been folded up like an accordion. But, violence. I'll just be glad it's not happening to you. You know what I mean? But yeah, Terrifier, apparently the trilogy's worth watching because there's a Thundercat sword. So, if you know what a Thundercat sword is, there's a sword of omens. Give me sight beyond sight.
Just as long as you don't watch it like after eating, or if you don't plan to eat afterwards, then you'll be
as long as blood doesn't bother you, you can eat it. You will hide the whole time.
Pretty much. I had my.
Wait! You said you fucked off, you liar! He's back. Sorry, excuse my French.
I ended up just seeking up some vape pens and just I'm alone in the movie theater just watching this, getting high, getting paranoid that I want to look over my shoulder and there's a clown next to me.
Did someone say, so long as blood it doesn't bother you, you can eat it?
No, as long as blood doesn't bother you, can eat it.
Oh my god.
Never mind. End the stream.
I got your joke, but don't try and twist what I say, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's not what I said, Bram. You know, gag or not, that's not what I said.
Promise by the gold code,
Yeah, yeah.
by the golden rule. A period don't stop nothing but a sentence.
Don't do. I'm
Oh,
not that guy, bro.
no,
I'm not.
JP. Oh, bro. Why
I
is
don't
it
do
that
that.
Bram had to come out with a sick metaphor, then you had to up on it?
Yeah,
Like,
cherry juice.
I don't do that.
oh, so, hey, mods, remove that comment,
Yeah,
man.
we might need to wrap soon.
I'm not a shark. I don't do that.
All right, I tell you what, yeah, because let me, because Tyrone. I'm joking, right? He was the only one. Tyrone was the only one that wasn't filth. Like, come on, how can I end the stream on that? Like,
Hey,
come
hey,
on.
don't do that. You said it. Don't do that.
Oh, I can tell you
I
something
did
you can
not
end
say
it with.
that. What's
Oh
that?
God.
Here's a good way to end it.
What's that?
Happy belated birthday, JPT.
Thank
Happy
you.
belated.
Yeah, you go.
More
Yeah,
life.
happy belated. Even though this is like the 50th millionth time I've said it to it. I'm getting bored of saying it to you now, you old fart.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, but it's fine. I appreciate the birthday wishes and thank you.
And I'm sorry, the 5 watchers we've still got. If you're scarred for life, I apologize, man. If you've been affected by anything that's happened in Blues Brothers, please dial our helpline on 0700. We don't give a shit. That's 0700. Not give a shit. Big up.
Speaking of blood, Arsenal
again.
couldn't beat Bournemouth. Interesting. I thought it was easy playing Bournemouth. You know, people laughed when we struggled, but it's fine.
Yeah, but you said about it just being Forest, then had to eat your words when Yeti popped up in the stream and remind you. Put it this way. Keep your words nice and sweet because you never know when you might have to eat them later. Okay?
Because
I
I talked shit about Curtis Jones and he scored on us.
No, but I'm just saying about
yeah.
Bournemouth. You know,
That's the first thing. Like, yeah, he went to me as well. Like Prime said, it's only Forest. When he looked at me and said that with a straight face.
I'm just thinking about Arsenal fans trying to laugh and we played Forest, but hey.
Hey, you guys. Sorry we beat you, lad. Well, there you go. You beat us, but we don't care. To be fair,
Go away, Jordan. Who are you? Get away. Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya?
Oh, there's only
we got boo.
There's only one room or enough room for one Jamaican in this stream. Jordan, go away.
Oh, anyway, and JPT on that racist comment spin room. Not playing. I'm only joking. Go away, Jordan. That's from that other Jamaican. Go away, Jordan. Go away. Who needs you? But big up Jordan, man. Subscribe to this guy. Good Liverpool fan. Bless his heart. He sat so quiet and patiently last week when we were talking. And man, was there for a little while. But he spent about 45 minutes, bless him, just sitting there quietly listening to us rant. Big up to Jordan. I'm so sorry about we were such terrible hosts last week. So yeah, you can have your comment. Yeah, you beat us. Yeah, true say. Considering how horrible we were to you last week, big up on you, man. Respect to that. And behave. And he's done it on. Why have you done it on both streams? What a bastard! He's done it on both streams. I hit 1.57 sub, guys. Well, congratulations.
Hey, all right.
Nice.
Don't go away. Don't go away, Jordan. Don't go away. Congratulations, Jordan. You can stay now. You can stay. Congratulations.
All right. It's of course. Like Jordan, we did our preview with him last week. Decent lad. Does a good Liverpool channel. Help him on his road to 2K. He's a good lad, and we should have had him back afterwards. Actually, it would have been good to have him on tonight. Actually, but you know what I mean, because it's actually nice to have a Liverpool fan, and we don't ram the words they say down their throat after they finish talking, because it's happened quite a few times here actually. So but big up to Jordan. I'm trying to find where have I put his channel.
Wait, what are you ramming down someone's throat? Pause.
Well, you should know this.
Yeah, pause.
No, it wasn't down pauses for it. He's cool, man. He's blessed. But yeah, well, put it this way. Remember the last time we spoke with Liverpool fans about infamous things that happened with regard to Argentinians. I'm not going to go into this, but I know JPT knows what I'm talking about. But there you go.
I remember JPT was upset. Prime was upset.
Yes.
No, I wasn't even upset. I was just fed up
annoyed.
I was just fed up with people trying to be tribal, talking about a racist issue. But it's fine.
Well, what I was referring to was what happened with Tyrone's gone. But what I was referring to was what happened with Deals and certain other nameless Liverpool fans. But that's not
Oh,
Jordan's beef.
I have no idea about what happened with Dills. I don't know about that.
Well, pretty much JPT does because he saw what I saw. So
Okay, I'm not part of that one. I don't know.
No, don't worry about it. This is something else. But anyway, big up to everyone that's been watching.
Mhm.
Please smash a like and a sub. Oh, there he is. Oh,
Hey.
bless him. Hey. Hey. Look at that. Right at the end, man. Turns up. Get off the screen, boy. No, I'm playing. Yeah, big up to everyone. Thank you to Prime,
Turn off the
Tyrone.
camera. Turn off the camera.
Oh, look how young he looks, man. He looks so fresh-faced. Nice trim as well. He's got his trim looking nice, bro, making me feel bad and ting. Look at my hair. I look like an 80s rock star. It's embarrassing. But yeah, big up to everyone. I'm free. You're free. What? You're free over the weekend? Bro, we've had a 2 hour and 15-minute stream. You're talking about
I
you're
gotta
free
eat
now.
something.
Yeah, I gotta go,
to
bro. Like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning for me, big man. Oh my God, Tyrone. Yeah. Oh dear, this is getting bad. But anyway, big up to everybody. Big up to JPT. Big up to TET. Big up to Prime. Big fun. It's been a nice stream actually. Bit of a long one, but it's been fun. But big up to yourselves. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to DJ Crane. He's been in and out. Big up Jordan. Sorry. Big up Andy as well. Good to see you again, bro. I haven't seen you in a long time,
Doesn't
man.
it feel good to like not have to like argue about our team being bad and worry about players underperforming and how bad will we lose our next game? Like, because I'm listening to Man United fans,
Oh
like
God.
they're
Oh
having
God,
emergency
again.
meetings.
And they just lost Anthony
Bro,
maybe for the season.
their problems started as soon as Ferguson walked out, and that was it because they no longer had someone who cared about the club winning.
Bro,
That's
I'm
it.
happy.
End of story.
Did he step down or was he let go?
No, he stepped down. The reason why he stepped down is because he left David Moyes with an aged team with a Rio Ferdinand, a Vidic, and Evra that are just about past their best. Fergie was smart, bro. Fergie, because don't forget, when you look at that last Man United team, there are people like they had, Vidic, Rio, Van
Love you
Persie,
too, Crane.
all them lot. Like he squeezed the last out of them and said, "Fuck it,
Mm.
I'm off." And that's.
I meant so like was he let go or did he step down from like
No, he
being
stepped down. He resigned.
Manchester
He was
like ambassador
I've had enough.
recently?
Yeah, well, no, that he resigned.
That's what I was talking about.
Because he's health issues now, and he can't do it anymore.
Shit.
But when it comes to his manager, he gave.
Oh yeah.
He knew when to get out, mate. He was clever because
He didn't overstay his welcome.
all you gotta do is like look what happened to Man United since to see how smart Ferguson was. But there you go. But yeah, big love to you as well, DJ Crane, man. Much obliged to everyone and everyone that's taken part of the stream. But everyone, we're gonna say good night. Stay safe. God bless. And we are out of here, people.